Welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
And a good Monday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports, live on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcast. Sentinel Storage, Canada Store's experts, more than 2 decades of helping Canadians through life's transitions. Check them out, sentinel.ca for more information or find a location nearest you. Offer ends today, 75% off 12 weeks on 5x10 units, as I mentioned, at sentinel.ca. Matt Iwanyk with you here, joining us today. A couple of nasties. We got Dean Belanger back in, and now I'm going to mess it up because I'm thinking about it. Kelvin Vandasselaar.
There you go.
Vandasselaar. Took me 1.5 tries. We'll go with there.
Not bad.
Sorry about that.
Hey, it's all good. It's when you get a Dutch handle like that, you're pretty much open for anything.
I was fine the first time we were here, and then today, like I nailed it, and then it was at the end, or like late 7, early 8. I mentioned your name, and I stumbled, and then I just couldn't recover. The tongue just like, nope, not doing Vandasselaar. See?
There you go.
You got Sentinel right, though.
I got Sentinel right. I did not get Sentinel right the first time I had to say them not too long ago. On this show, I've gotten them right. I was at an Elks draft night, and I welcomed, what did I say?
Centennial.
Yeah.
Which happens
bad.
Quite common.
Evan Dom just reamed me out from the Elks.
Yes, don't get our sponsors' names wrong. Right?
Weren't a sponsor at the time, so I didn't screw that up completely.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be good to get it wrong, though, because then you get more discussion about it, talk about it, but whatever.
Sentinel Storage, there's so many. They're all over the place. One just down the road from here. And it's funny, like once you start paying attention, you're like, oh, they're all over the place. Like if you need a storage location, there's one right near you that you're not aware of anywhere in this city. Like, there's one near you.
It's the same when you buy a vehicle. Right, you buy a vehicle and think you're unique, and then you drive down the road and there's like only 9,700 of them. Which, like, you've noticed your brand when you're driving by, right? So,
lots to get to, largely on the show today. I will get to it a little. I want to. Did any of you watch the Pop-Tarts Bowl?
What?
The Pop-Tarts Bowl. Don't give me a what to the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
I did not. I'm not a bowl guy at all.
Yeah, no one cares about the football necessarily. I did because my team was playing it. We watched the Pop-Tart get toasted in front of our eyes and eaten.
No.
That doesn't excite you?
No.
I watched the highlights. I was pretty good. It's pretty incredible. So I noticed that Teef was wanting Elks to, be sponsored by Pop-Tarts now, and I'm surprised he didn't mention Dusty and the morning show being sponsored by Pop-Tarts.
Dusty would lose it.
Yeah.
Like this is Iowa State winning. You got the Pop-Tart jumping right in there with them.
Pop-Tart jumping in. When it goes in a toaster, right?
Yeah.
I got that.
When I was a kid, there was the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
That is it.
This might be up there with the Rose Bowl. Look,
I doubt it.
the Pop-Tart gets toasted in front of our eyes and eaten. See, follow your dreams. And
follow your dreams.
Follow your dreams. Like a great message for the kids.
Absolutely.
And then he goes down and he gets toasted up.
Yeah. Contribute to juvenile diabetes. Follow your dreams.
He got eaten. He wanted to, because there was 3 mascots this year, and one of them was going to get toasted.
Right.
And
they picked the flavor, right?
The MVP got to pick the flavor.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
You missed out. I don't bookmark things on Twitter. You don't know how many Pop-Tart tweets I bookmark just so I could have easy reference to.
It's a great world.
Yeah,
they went and brought Pop-Tarts to newborn babies in the hospital.
In the hospital. That's a great start.
Somebody. I could do a whole show today on the Pop-Tart Bowl. I found another tweet. Someone who attended the Pop-Tart Bowl. There was different things. The frosted cinnamon roll Pop-Tart is the one that got eaten. He said he deserved to get eaten because he finished last in the obstacle course, last in the football catching contest, and last in the dance-off. There's all these things happening. You missed out, Dean. What were you doing on a Saturday?
That was Saturday?
Yes.
Probably nothing.
And you just missed out completely on like
this bowl of the year.
Rose Bowl, Pop-Tarts
Bowl,
everything else.
I remember what I did, and I'm not going to share.
It wasn't the Pop-Tarts Bowl,
It
so it
was
doesn't
not
even
the
matter.
Pop
It's not
Tart
the
Bowl,
Pop-Tart
but
Bowl.
I'm actually quite.
It
happy
happened at the
about
same
that.
time as the Oiler game too, so you could flip back and forth. Oiler game ended actually first, so you could have finished.
Yeah.
So you missed it. Next year, I'll remind you.
Thank you.
I need to
appreciate
remind
that.
you on something else this year. I forgot. What was the thing I had to text you about?
I think it was during the World Series or something.
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
World Series. You don't want to watch the World Series.
Yeah, and I didn't.
But next year, I'll remember to make sure you're aware of the Pop-Tarts Bowl and to keep watching. And I'll send you all the links I find.
Who was playing?
It was
Obviously
Iowa
Miami.
State and Miami.
Yeah.
The U.
The U.
So
There you go.
You missed
That's
out
the
on
only
that.
Wii team you have, if I recall.
Oh, no. I have Wii's.
Other Wii's, Yankees. Wii's?
Yeah, I will use Wii for the Yankees. I will use Wii for Miami Hurricanes. I'll use it for every team, basically, except
Okay.
locally.
Except local guys.
Like, I won't say Wii for the Elks.
Right.
For
I
the
knew
Oilers
that.
and
I knew
stuff. So and I'll gladly say Wii.
Yeah. Yeah.
Me with Manchester United, all
That's
that.
actually not uncommon. I think there's a lot of media guys that are quite happy to announce their fandom for out of market teams.
Yeah, it's more for teams that you don't like, leagues you don't cover.
Yeah.
Right.
If you don't cover leagues, like, who cares? It's the ones where, okay, it's kind of like, it is a little weird, especially like, I understand like newspaper guys or things like that, or like a Tommy. It's weird to, in a way, I could see where you'd be like, we for the Edmonton Oilers, and then have to go into the locker room and interview those guys.
Yeah.
That, or like you're going into the Penguins locker room, let's say Crosby comes to town.
Yeah.
How do you interview? That's where it comes from. But when it's leagues that you're not part of, that you don't have to cover, who cares?
Yeah, I actually agree with Tommy when he's like, don't say we, and you're like, I actually agree with him on all that. And you knew like Rod Phillips was Homer and he traveled with the team, but he was an employee of the Oilers and that was his job. And, Jack's sort of the same way. I actually don't mind that, but I don't want you like I'm an Oiler fan. Like you know what I mean? Like I appreciate that.
But do you care if I say we for Miami Hurricanes?
No, I don't.
I always have to do that every time. Sorry.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a Miami T-shirt. You know that, so I'm okay with Miami. I think it might be one
Just
of the
like
few
the
teams
city
we
or
agree on.
or a sports team? Like
The sport team.
I gotcha. There you go. Yeah.
If I were to, if I was going to be a college football fan, it would be the U.
They have struggled in college bowl games for a long time. So that's been. Trav, is that a premium member? Then you got to grab a scarf.
The answer to that
Thanks.
probably.
Sorry to
should-
everyone listening.
Should have been yes.
Double check your emails. Perfect. There's
Read
only
your
one
email.
other person here, and I knew something was going down, and it would have changed some things. So sorry to all the Hangout listeners there. Multitasking, running an office while
Yeah,
running
while you're running a
a
show,
sports show. How was your guys' Christmas?
Good. We talked. Well, it was quiet. It was nice. It's funny as you get older, you change your priorities, and the madness seems to dissipate. So for the second year in a row, we met up with friends and had dim sum on Christmas Day, and then just had a chill day. It was great.
Like you went out for it, or you guys made it?
Went out for oh God, I can't make dim sum.
I don't know.
Yeah, 3 little shrimp puffs. Yeah.
No, I like to cook there, but Asian ethnic stuff is stuff that I won't try to cook. Like I'm not going to try to make sushi.
There's actually some really cool little like cheating rolls.
Yeah.
Where you just like put like everything on it and you just like fold it and it's all
fold it.
wraps up for you.
Yeah, I'm happy
shoot.
to go out and pay for that. But
Kevin
yeah, so
just-
no, Christmas is nice, and I'm sure New Year's. I'm going to the Oiler game tomorrow, so that'll be the first time I've gone out for New Year's in forever. Sort of cheating.
Yeah, I have my New Year's ticket. It's stay at home and relax and go to bed. Christmas for us is I'm with the excitement. It's different excitement, right? It's I have grandkids now, right? And so you kind of live your life through their eyes and stuff. So we went out Christmas Eve and with all the kids and stuff, and did the gift exchange, and then Christmas Day we just spent with one of our kids and chill, and then Boxing Day get home to a house with no stuff in it. It was kind of nice.
It's just cleaner.
Cleaner, yes, yeah.
So the EST stuff has come in for
It
you.
has come in, yes. I'm sporting everything, socks even. So there you go.
You live by yourself, so I assume go to the parents for Christmas Day and that stuff.
And for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, we went to my parents, and then we celebrated another more immediate Christmas on Saturday. just to get like all of this. So I gave my nieces their gift that day and stuff. And
I love the
spoiled
story
hell
about
out
what
of
your
them.
nieces got you. That's awesome.
Ornaments. It's great. Custom ornaments. They made them. And then the chips.
And then the chips.
And licorice.
Yeah.
I was very excited about that.
Kind of licorice.
Yeah.
Twizzlers. I'm a Twizzler person.
I like nibs.
I like it.
Do you eat the strings? Like at Walmart now, you can get those big, they're about this long, but it's all strings kind of rolled together.
I wouldn't say no to it.
Yeah.
Like
It's a knockoff from Twizzlers. It's, yeah. No.
Twizzlers is my favorite. Nibs are great.
Nibs are great.
But I like them in the are pre-cut almost, like small ones, not like the long ones.
I like both.
Red vines are amazing. Ever had a red vine? I think they might be states only then.
Might be, yeah. That doesn't ring a bell.
Okay, they're really good too.
Yeah, I'm not a sweets guy, but I like nibs. I like licorice.
I could crush those. Well, I've already started eating my bag.
Yeah.
And I'm actually surprised that bag of chips lasted a couple days in my place. I didn't touch it yesterday. That never happens. I open up a bag of chips, it's gone in like a day,
Yeah, I'm the same way.
day and a half.
There was a point when I would crush a big bag of chips and a 2-liter Coke, and every 3 times a week. Like, it was just awful.
Yeah, that was my
But they
20s.
taste so good.
Yeah. I was, oh man.
Yeah. Well, I'm from Winnipeg, the Slurpee capital of the world. And it would be a Slurpee and a bag of Ruffles every day.
Yeah.
Cannot do that anymore.
Yeah.
Not a good idea.
I'm from Carmen.
Ah,
There you go.
there you go.
So the world meets on EST.
Where's Carmen?
Manitoba.
Is it?
Yeah, 45 minutes east or west of Winnipeg.
Jeez.
Great little 9-hole golf course there.
2 Manitobians
Yes.
on the show today.
Now 18, but was 9 for a while.
Canada's down at the Spangler Cup, by the
Yes.
Did you
I
see
just
the
saw
third
that.
goal? It was,
I
it
did.
was pretty chintzy.
Yeah.
way. Was it?
Yeah, bounced off the defenseman straight up in the air over the goalie.
Sam Gagne, the captain for Team Canada.
Yeah.
Not a lot of other players that I've known. Usually there's like those like washed up NHLers.
Yeah, it's pretty. The lineup this year, not a lot of name recognition for sure, other than Coach Gallant, right? But and Gagne, but other than that,
Oh, and Messier's part of it? Is it Messier?
on the
Or
management
the management side? I can't remember or not. I'll have to look into that. Cliff does message Dean. Glad you can discuss your fantasy football league's results to the morning this morning.
Oh, Cliffy.
What
Cliffy
happened
with
there?
a big win yesterday. Yeah.
In the finals?
Yeah.
Against you?
No.
Oh,
No,
I was
I-
thinking like maybe it was like you could tell about it.
No. No. He beat Joe Smith, if that's his real name. Can you imagine? Joe Smith, that's his name. He beat him. Cliffy took him down. But how do you feel about this?
Okay,
They split the winnings.
I did that last year.
You did, eh?
So I got to the finals of the league that I'm in with Dusty, his Spite League, which he has gone and dominated this year. Congratulations once again to Dusty. I'm very excited.
He
about
won the Spite League.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, I know his team was sick.
he didn't just win.
Yeah.
He's up 140 something to 100. The other guy has nothing left, and Dusty still has a player.
Wow.
He's projected to have 167 points in the championship game and win by 67 points or
I
whatever
bet
it
you
is. Like,
Cliff's close to the same. Although it's full point. I don't know what the rules are for that. Cliff's having a good week.
I actually had to, when I first got in this league a number of years ago, over 10 years ago, I had to work to change the point system because I didn't like how the point system was.
Of course you did.
Because it wasn't standard. Okay, before we get, it wasn't a standard point system. It was 1 yard for every 20, 1 point for every 20 yards rushing,
that sucks.
1 point for every 20 yards receiving. I got them down to 1 point for every 10 yards of rushing.
Yeah.
The 20 yards receiving stayed,
You're right.
but we added PPR. So it balanced it out a little bit more. There was a few other points that when I first got in the league, I'm like, this makes zero sense. It's not close to being a standard league. And I had to fight to get it back the other way. This took a couple of years. It was a huge fight on my part. And I'm going to say you guys are probably going to be on my side in this one.
We'll see. Let's present your case.
You could take anyone you want. They didn't have to be injured and throw them on IR. And you could have
No, that's
and there was
terrible.
no
Healthy scratch.
basically.
Wow.
Well, it's
And
just
you
an
could-
extra bench spot.
You could then load up I don't think there was a real limit to how many people you could have on IR. And we're 16 team 5 keeper. So by the time you get to the draft, firstly, they're like,
Yeah.
you're drafting nobodies.
Yeah.
When you
It's a
get to our
deep league.
waiver wire, there's absolutely no one on waiver
no,
wires. But so guys would pick up a couple, like the low end teams would pick up a couple of guys early just to stash them. and then you'd have to trade for them. And you have to pay for everything in our league, and I'm too cheap. Yeah. I'm gonna straight around. I'm not paying $2 for a trade.
Yeah.
But I had to like fight and like, I think IR should just be for an injured person.
Well, that's IR, injured reserve.
Injured reserve, yes.
And so this was a fight for a number of years because like it went, now it's like it never comes up, but it was like these big battles because like one year it was like, well, maybe we should just make it a practice roster. I'm like, what? Who needs a practice roster? Why are we adding a practice roster?
Right.
Like it should be there for if a guy get injured. And then there's this like whole like, well, how did they come off injured reserve? I'm like, I don't care. Yeah. Like I've been in leagues, I remember baseball league, ESPN, you threw someone on injured reserve, they could get healthy and you could keep them on injured reserve. You didn't have to activate them. Mm-hmm. Because the punishment then is, well, they were injured, you replaced them, you thought well enough to keep them on your team, but now you can't play them. And if you want to activate them off IR, you have to drop someone then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I live by that, but they wanted to like, no, like we now have a thing like once the player is deemed healthy, you have a week to take them off IR, which I'm fine with then in the end. But it was this whole thing like, well, how do we figure out when? Like, how do we determine whether they're eligible for IR or not? I'm like, the league, the websites tell us. Yeah. There's this huge battle.
I think that
I'm not always crazy.
No, you're not. Actually, you and I agree on too many things, which leads me to
not
believe that I
good for
might be
you.
crazy.
Nothing big for good show.
No, I think a lot of the apps now, like it doesn't make you take the guy off IR, but it sort of locks you, so you can't pick anyone up, or you can't do any waiver things, or you can't make any trades until you deal with that guy on IR that's not injured. So, whatever. It's congratulations, Cliffy. Good win.
Yeah, a lot of unemployed GMs next week after the NFL's done.
That's and coaches, and we'll see what comes from there.
And fantasy league managers.
Yeah,
and,
it is. It's funny. There is that hangover because you get so involved in it, and then you're out, and you're like, no, now I just have to watch my team. And fortunately, my team's the Vikings, and it's been quite a fun year for them. But it's
stunning
so
year for them.
Yeah, well,
which we'll get to. I want to finish up this fantasy football though a little bit there. But I got knocked out a few weeks ago, and I ended up being happy about being knocked out because I get a better draft pick, but I had a good team, and I got unlucky this year. I stand by it. Like I actually had like one of the higher scoring teams in the
that
league.
happens.
But then I get a better draft pick. Like this is perfect. Dusty though rattled off the Spite League, and he did it.
Well, he had a sick team, if I remember correctly.
He's very happy. Oh yeah. So back to the question. So last year I got to the final though in this league, and beforehand, the guy I was going up against, he says, whenever I get to the final, I always send a text to the other person, like, hey, do you want to just split the money? So we know, and then play for the championship. And I didn't want to be like, no. Like, I just feel like, no, screw you. Like, so I was like, yeah, sure. I also knew I was the worst team.
Yeah, see,
so
that's
I was like,
the thing,
sure.
right?
Yeah. And then we went in, and at one point I thought I might win the league, and I was going to be very happy. And then I lost, and I was even happier. Well, not even happier. I was like, wow, that sucks. But, I'm making more money in the end. Yeah. So it worked out that way. But I have no problem with splitting the pot as long as it's agreed to ahead of time.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, you would have to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I come on it. There's some people who have very strong opinions in my league about it. They're calling people cheaters and losers and really attacking their character.
Really? I was like,
it's pretty good.
I have personally split pool, and I have personally not. So,
yeah, if I got to a final and like if I would never extend it to someone I don't. Well, now I'm in this league, it happened to me, so I think I would extend it to someone else. I have no problem if someone says no. I don't have an issue with it. But if you agree to it like we did, I still wanted to win.
Of course you still want to win.
I care about the title.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
100%. Bragging rights, especially, it depends on the league. Like if it's with a bunch of your really close friends, bragging rights mean everything. The money, come on.
That's like, I won good coin last year. I think my league, I was 1,400.
Yeah, but what did you do with the money? Do you remember?
I put it towards a few things.
Oh, yeah. But, I mean, the championship is what's like you look at it and you go, yeah.
Well, but if you split, it doesn't change what you're like. I don't know where the care. Like I'm still. It's not like I looked at my lineup last year and went, I don't have to matter now. Don't have to care now. I'm done.
No, you
this
still
week's
want to
nothing.
win.
I want to win.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So there's nothing like that. JCD 780 says if you're going to split the pot, keep it private. Well, my league can't because they publicly with the championship when they hand out the trophy we get.
Oh yeah, I know
at
the
a
check.
spring
Well,
well, it's an envelope, and the commission goes, "Here's your," and then so he says how much everyone wins and stuff, and it's like, well, they split, so he made it public there. So your Vikings and your team.
Oh, don't even Giants. Don't even start.
How did you become a Giants fan in Manitoba?
Good question. I have no idea.
We were all Vikings fans over there.
Why did they win?
Exactly. Why did they win? Right? They can't first. They
that was
I don't
weird.
even. Yeah. Anyway.
Like that's.
I feel like I got a really good friend who's a Chiefs fan, so I called him the other day and I said they know I'm a Giants fan, so I said I'm gonna start cheering for the Chiefs. so that'll kind of hurt your Super Bowl chances if I get on board.
Actually, the guy that's going to lose the finals dressed Indy to play the Giants ended up taking -3 points.
Rip City Step said he won fantasy this weekend because the team he went against played the Colts defense.
Colts
and they were
defense.
They were rated the top defense going in and got lit up by the Giants. I don't even know how that happens.
Yeah. Anyway, so long. I'm not sure how. I actually started it was in Southern Alberta, but I really got into the NFL. And
Should move further away from New York.
Was that when Taylor was ripping up or before?
Yeah,
that?
this is back in the early '90s.
Yeah, like they were such a
So this
great
is the
team.
post Phil Sims, like a Boomer.
Yeah, Phil
was
Sims.
Boomer there?
Boomer was Jets. Boomer size.
Right.
Jets. Yeah. No, like Strahan. Like they were a great team. Like I mean,
that defense was
we own the Patriots, right, and Brady, right. So, but yeah, through all of that, and because I used to have a couple buddies, and he would Monday night we would get together, and my Tuesday mornings were worse than a Friday night.
Yeah.
Saturday morning wake up because we'd get together and watch Monday nighters, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I still like when I saw the result yesterday. It was just like for both teams, the Colts are trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And then
so weird.
Yeah,
the Giants making it worse.
And then growing up in Manitoba as a kid, like it was the Chicago Blackhawks, right? It was, we used to.
That was a territory. Yeah.
That was a territory, right?
Yeah. And there was the Bobby Hull connection. A lot of people.
And then we had
Yeah.
and then the Bobby Hull connection with the Jets and stuff. But in shop class, we built a crystal radio. It was a little box. You bent a chunk of aluminum and then you put a little dial in it, and then the antenna you wrapped 100 yards of copper wire on a piece of toilet paper roll, right? And they called it a crystal radio, and you could get we could get Chicago radio stations
really
clear as a bell, right? So we listened to all the Chicago games right on the radio, and I can't think of the guy's name. Their color guy. He had a really crazy name and did some I was back in the 70s. I'm dating myself here, but
I didn't know you could
time ago.
create that radio.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to go look into this. And one of my favorite things.
It was a grade 7 shop project, like crystal radio. It's kind of crazy.
One of my favorite things driving around late at night is flipping through an AM dial still.
Yeah.
And seeing what I could pick up.
Yeah. Seeing what's left.
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
We could pick up a lot of Seattle stations. Years ago, I remember picking up a station around BYU because they were talking BYU. A couple of weeks ago, I picked up a North Dakota station for a brief period of time. It's always fun just getting that.
Yeah.
And I also listened to Coast to Coast for the first time ever.
Oh, well.
For anyone that knows what Coast to Coast is, you'll know what I'm talking about. For those that don't, it's how do you describe Coast to Coast? Do you know what Coast to Coast is?
I don't.
Either of you?
No.
I think the former host used to be Art Bell. I think was his name. It's a late night talk show that's been around forever, and they talk basically about aliens and things like that and conspiracies, and it's wild. It was like this one guest was on, this scientist, and I use that in air quotes.
Yeah.
The question asked him was like, is Elon Musk some weird lizard from the future coming back? And the scientist,
fair question.
without hesitation, was like, absolutely, 100% he is. I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm listening to right now. It was wonderful.
Yeah.
If you ever happen to stumble upon Coast to Coast, if you're looking for a nice couple
that would
minutes.
explain his interest with space. He's trying to get home.
Yeah, well, it's maybe.
There you go.
It was it was from the future, a lizard type thing. And like just the science without hesitation just was like 100% that's what this is. Like, yes, that's a logical explanation for everything. So the Vikings.
Yeah.
Interesting.
They
Who would have expected this?
Nobody. They were 4-1, and I remember texting a friend of mine and said, "These guys are absolute frauds, and they are going to get exposed." And they lost to Detroit, and then did they lose
a close game
shortly after that? And I was like, okay, reality's going to set in. They'll be 500. That's still a good year. And they just keep going. It's amazing when you have the right coach in the right place with the right system, what they can do in the NFL. And then you look at it and you're like, how do these other teams go for a decade or 15 years of being bad? Like, how do you not figure this out eventually?
Kelvin?
I have nothing to contribute. Trade away your best players. Don't sign free agents. That kind of stuff. It's usually a good way of being bad. Yeah. And but you guys just, as far as the Vikings, you're undefeated since you signed Daniel Jones to your practice roster. Just saying, right? Like,
well, here's the funny thing, right?
By the way, lost the Lions, lost the next game to the Rams.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then never won since. So they lost back to back. Their 2 losses came back to back.
Okay, so it was back to back, and they've been like not just good, like they've been really good, full mark, and that
empty
defense is spectacular. And then you got Jefferson, so that gives you a bit of a leg up, I think. I remember when he got drafted, a friend of mine said that was the worst possible scenario for him. I feel so bad for him, and I was like, that's a bit harsh, but okay, maybe. Yeah, it's actually worked out pretty good.
I will say, I'm not sold still on Sam Darnold.
Well, you kind of don't have to be. He's not going to be there next year.
I would for this year. Yeah. But for this year.
Yeah, but
like can the Vikings go win the Super Bowl?
Do I expect the Vikings to win the Super Bowl? No.
No?
No, I don't. I never, because I didn't come into the year with that expectation.
Right.
I thought they were going to finish last in the division.
But they're good enough to go win the NFC. Like
they are.
Because ultimately, like even I don't care what happens next Sunday against the Lions.
They have to beat the Lions if they have any shot at winning the Super Bowl.
But they have to do it in the more important game, which would be potentially an NFC championship game. That's right, because it's either you're winning twice or you're winning once.
But having to do everything on the road in the playoffs statistically is very hard to do. And I know your Baltimore team did it. But it doesn't happen all the time.
What do we got?
And if they don't get that number 1 seed, it's going to be really hard to go into Detroit twice.
Because they would drop. Well, but so you drop to the 5th seed. You'd get Tampa or Atlanta in game 1.
Yeah. And that's always like, yeah, okay. They'll probably beat Atlanta. It doesn't matter where you play the game. LA, that's not easy to go into LA.
No, then you'd go to Detroit.
Yeah.
It would actually depend on how the other games go.
I really like a lot of things about the NFL. I really question the home field advantage guaranteed for the division winners. And we've seen this. Division winners that are lower than 500 and get to host a playoff game. I think that's junk. Like I really yes, you get the playoff spot, but why should you get to host? Minnesota should be hosting.
It should be records versus
the Seahawks. They were one of those teams. And they beat the Saints, didn't they?
Yeah,
they ended up beating the Saints. That was the Marshawn Lynch, I think.
Yeah.
Ridiculous stiff arm.
Yeah.
Hockey used to be that way. When they were 1 through 8, the top 3 teams were division winners, and you'd have a 3rd place team that would sometimes be worse than the 4th place team, but 3rd place would get the top spot. The NBA, I don't know if they still do it this way. They used to, because they're still that way. The top 3 divisions, the 3 divisions per side, top 3 get top 3. But I don't know if they still do it, or they used to in the past. If 4th was higher than 3rd, they'd swap them.
Right.
So like division still got it, like 3rd still got a home, but they dropped the seeding to 4th, and 3rd place got better matchup.
Right.
College football this year with their playoff system, they had the 4 byes for conference winners. They all got the 1 bye, but there were 5 conference champions though that got berths. I think it was. And Clemson was the 5th team. But because they weren't one of the top 4, they had to play in week 1. And they also had to be a road team.
Yeah, see, I don't like that. In football, being a road team is a major disadvantage. I don't know, like hockey, it doesn't seem to matter. NBA, it seems to matter, but
But they were worse than the team that they were going to.
Okay, well, that's fine
the
if
thing.
they
That's
were
my
worse.
point. Like And I should have added there that Clemson shouldn't have made it. They only got in because they won the conference.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And they had to go to Texas because Texas had a great year or a much better year. That's so they actually kind of did what you're saying, where it's like, okay, Tampa, Atlanta, you won the division. Congrats. You get a playoff spot.
That's a big reward.
That's it. You're guaranteed your playoff spot.
Yeah.
That's it.
But you're not guaranteed a home
You're not
game.
guaranteed a home game.
I don't like that. And I'm not just saying that because it goes against Minnesota this year. I just don't like, I think that goes against the spirit of competition. Like the Minnesota Vikings, I'm assuming they're not going to beat Detroit this coming up. They might.
Well, the first meeting was very close.
It was, but it was in Minnesota. This one's in Detroit.
31-29.
You might end up with having one of the better 5 seeds. No, you know what? No matter who ends up in the 5 seed, if it's Detroit or Minnesota, that's going to be one of the best 5 seeds. And it's not fair to have to go on the road.
The flip side to that, because you used to be a baseball guy.
Well,
or no?
I'm trying to break up with it. We'll see.
So in the past,
we'll see what happens.
But okay, like in the past though, yeah. That's a league. Regular season mattered so much so only 4 teams made the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm fine.
And the
with
flip side to that is you're adding a value to winning your division. You play your division twice, then you have to play a bunch of other people. There's a value to the regular season and having success to a degree in the regular season where you went and won your division. Like to the Vikings, go win your division. You have every right to be home. You just got to go win one more football game.
Yeah. But we can all agree that that's not the NFL model now. And it's not MLB model either.
No, MLB's added so many teams now that...
Yeah. And I'm okay with what MLB did with the wild card. I actually like what they've done to their playoff. Because on the flip side of that, you don't want a team 80 games into the year with 80 games to go, 82 games to go, and it's meaningless. That's not good for your league.
Yeah. You mean like the Blue Jays?
Well, you could argue that they weren't meaningless, but you could also argue that you knew the end result was not going to be good.
It was not going to be good, yeah.
As Kelvin mentioned, Canada lost the Spengler Cup 4-2. They're eliminated from the Spengler Cup. This was the semifinals because the championship is tomorrow. Yeah. It's a tournament it's a very nice, clean and tidy.
Tidy, yeah.
26th to the 31st. That's all it goes. Canada last one in 2019 says TSN as the alert I got on my phone. So
I will one day go to that tournament. I have not yet, but I will.
Yeah, it's a bucket list.
It is. Yeah. And there's not much left on my hockey bucket list, but that is on there. I've been to, I think, almost everything. Really. Yeah. I do want to go to every arena before, I guess when I retire and start traveling and doing those things, I do want to do that. But
how many have you hit?
I think I used to have a list and I lost it, but I think 14 or 15.
Pretty decent.
Wow, that's pretty decent.
But some of those now have gone out, so I probably need to still go to like 20.
Older stadiums.
Yeah, Winnipeg Arena.
Winnipeg Arena, yeah.
And I've been to 3 different outdoor venues for Heritage Classics and things like that. So, yeah.
Edmonton, Winnipeg,
Regina.
Yeah. I stand by that the BC one wasn't an outdoor hockey game.
Well, if it's in an indoor facility, it's not outdoor.
Yeah, it's not
Open the roof.
Open the roof, yeah.
Like, what's the point? It's not an outdoor hockey game.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's great. You played in a bigger barn. Awesome. We're so excited. Actually, the NHL wants to go to Florida. A couple of weeks ago, Batman at the Board of Governors. I think he was floating out that Florida was doing it.
Lake Mead, so.
I actually, you talk
no, it wasn't Lake Mead. Pardon me.
Lake Tahoe.
Lake Tahoe.
Tahoe, yeah.
I will say I stand by though. I think the NHL needs to find more picturesque locations
we talked about
for
this.
it.
Like Banff would be amazing.
Banff, Moline Lake.
Yes,
Right,
have that backdrop. I don't care if you can't get a lot of people watching it.
Yeah, who cares?
Like in person.
Yeah,
it's the imagery. Mm-hmm. And still, when you go see pictures at Lake Tahoe, like knowing that that's a real NHL game.
Yeah.
Get in Central Park. Yeah. Get a game going in Central Park.
That would be cool.
Lac Lenon, Belanger. Get one.
There you go, Lac Lenon. That'd be a good one.
There you go.
Just get the snow blowers out.
Just get the snow blowers out. Run a little flood.
Have to move some ice fishing huts.
Yeah, move a few ice fishing huts and let's go.
I don't know where you'd put it for Florida. Like, I would want a cool venue. I don't think there's like going to be a cool venue that you're going to find. Like Miami Marlins Stadium is stupid. Hard Rock Stadium is whatever, but it's also at the same time you can't do a winter class. It'd have to be a stadium series.
Yeah,
because the Dolphins are playing,
right,
and they got the Orange Bowl. So you can't get access till after the Orange Bowl, which is when's that take place? January 2nd, usually ish in that range.
You could do it while the Dolphins are playing. If they scheduled 2 road games in a row, you could do it. That's a big enough window.
What if the Dolphins make the playoffs? It'd be too risky. And the Dolphins aren't going to do that. The Dolphins are like, yeah, we'll go to end the season with 2 road games just so you can play a hockey game in our facility. They'll go pound sand.
Yeah, your fans are going, what's hockey?
That's true.
So I just don't know where else like would be fun. Like you can't do it, but it'd be great if it was on the beach.
Yeah.
That ice ain't gonna last.
No. Yeah. You could do a stupid skills competition at the All-Star game. God.
Somebody doesn't like All-Star games.
I hate all that skills competition that they were trying to do. It was better last year when McDavid took it over.
I like the skills competition. I have no time for the game.
The stuff on the beach?
I'm cool with that.
Oh, God.
Try something different.
No. I'll be much happier with the 4 Nations this year than an All-Star game.
Yeah, agreed.
Give me Rendezvous 87.
Yeah.
I will get more excited about the 4 Nations as we get closer, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it'll build over. Yeah.
Like once you see the players,
New Year's, so it'll start to pick up some
And
momentum.
again, for Oiler fans, they should be very excited that most of their players aren't there.
Agreed.
Take the rest. Take the break. Get as much of that. Like what matters is the Stanley Cup. Go win the Stanley Cup. And if the Oilers go win the Stanley Cup, then yeah, next year Bouchard and Hyman, all of them could maybe go to the 26th Olympic team. And
no, they already did the Oilers a big favor in not picking Hyman, and he went on a heater, and they did the same with the Jets. And
Scheifele's on a heater. Yeah.
So it's like, there you go.
Yeah.
That should be a sign maybe then that the players will care at the 4 Nations.
Yeah, I think possibly, yeah, for sure. If you look at those 2 guys, exactly.
Well, Tommy threw out before the 4 Nations announcement, then once it happened, that he was wondering if maybe we'd see some of those players start playing better because of the pressure of the 4 Nations was wearing on them. And kind of you sit there like, for at the time, like, well, it's just the 4 Nations. Why would they care? But you look at the results since, and guys like Hyman and Scheifele, like they're playing better. That maybe there is something to that.
No, they care.
They cared.
They care.
They care because when was the last best on best tournament?
A best on best tournament like this, where it was like you could pick your players, whatever players you wanted.
Was that the World Cup?
It would have been the last World Cup in 2016.
Yeah. The Montreal, Boston, or whatever there. Was it Montreal, Boston?
This is Montreal, Boston. That was all Toronto,
that
I
was
think.
Toronto.
Or maybe Montreal, Toronto.
Montreal, Toronto, because I went to an exhibition game in Ottawa.
Because and that was North America and Team Europe. McDavid was on the North American team.
North American team, yeah.
So I'm not saying 4 Nations is a true best on best, but it is the first thing we've seen where players get picked and guys get to play with Crosby that they've never gotten to play with, and they're excited about it.
Well, it's the best Canadian players against the best American players, against the best Finnish players, against the best Swedish players. There may be other countries not there, but for the 4 nations that are there, it's their best.
Yeah.
So it's a best on best. The World Hockey Championships doesn't have that. No. The last 2 Olympics did not have that.
No.
So that's where, to me, this is a best on best tournament. While, I understand there's no Russia there. I understand there's some other nations that aren't there too, though. It's still best on best, though, because these 4 nations, it's their best.
Yeah, and guys want to play in that. Yeah. And I'm sure McDavid is absolutely thrilled about it. And I can't wait to watch that Canadian power play. So,
yeah, it's interesting that you look at McDavid and Crosby, like the different scenarios that they were in for international hockey, right? Like Crosby played in 2 Olympics, and there was a Canada Cup, and there were but since McDavid's been in the league, there really hasn't been anything.
There's been nothing.
A best on best.
Well,
Crosby also got turned down for a 3rd Olympics.
Yeah,
because Crosby didn't go in 06, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
and there was a lot of like, why isn't he going, or should he go? And he ultimately didn't go, I don't think. And so he could have had a 3rd Olympics.
Yeah.
Like he was eligible for a 3rd one, and we didn't even take him.
McDavid had that Team North America.
Yeah, that's all he had. That's basically all he's had on.
We were watching the World Junior preview show, and they showed McDavid skating around with the World Junior trophy. I looked at my wife and I said, "That's the only trophy he's ever won."
Internet, yeah,
He's got a World Hockey Championship.
Oh,
I forget about that one.
You know what?
Somebody
I forgot about that too.
Somebody about a month ago or something, I remember a message saying he had a World Hockey Championship, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah,
and I looked it up and I double checked, and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're right." And it's one that we all just forget.
He never won a Mem Cup.
2016 World Hockey Championship.
Okay,
that long ago. 2015 won a World Juniors. Under 18 in 2013. That's it.
Didn't win the brick.
Yeah.
What else do I have? Awards, honors. Yeah, Player of the Year, won the Tim Adams Memorial Trophy, which is that the one for most valuable in the OHL Cup? So that's what he got. Oh, that's from the GTHL. The OHL, just a bunch of best most sportsmanlike player. He won that award. Top pick in the selection draft. Apparently, there's an award for that. Not just being the top pick. He won Rookie of the Year one year. The Bobby Smith Trophy, which is the Scholastic Player of the Year for the OHL. The Red Tilson Trophy, which is the MVP of the OHL. He won the Wayne Gretzky 99 Award, which is the MVP of the playoffs for a year. He was the Scholastic Player of the Year for 2 years.
I did not know that about him.
No, I didn't know about him.
But there's not a lot of chance to win, or not a lot of trophies won.
Yeah.
So it's those three Canada ones, but hasn't been able to go play for an Olympics.
Yeah, just the way it's been set up, right? So, like I said, it's kind of interesting when you look back on both their careers, the opportunities that Crosby had that McDavid didn't, just the way things timed out, right? So, it'd be nice to see him play here because the Olympics, 2 years, right?
Next year.
So
this year, this Feb, we get Four Nations.
And this
next
is
year.
our appetizer.
Honestly, for these Four Nations, if I'm the other nations, I'm a little annoyed because these guys don't need it.
Yeah.
This is almost a training camp a year ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get to try some, you found out years ago that Marchand works with Crosby.
Yes.
Right?
You get to see what Canada gets to see. Does that still work?
Right.
A year, as opposed to going to the Olympics and trying to see if it works. They'll know.
Yeah. Like everyone's got Crosby with McKinnon.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then you get to play with that for sure.
Which I'm intrigued by how John Cooper will handle this.
Yeah.
He obviously wants to win, but how much in his mind is there, I need to experiment for next year? That if it comes we might lose a game because I tried something, does he care that much? Or is he like, no, I got to try to win this? That's the first thing. Secondary is 2026.
John Cooper doesn't go into many things and not win.
He's such a damn good coach.
He is an amazingly good coach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time in the world for him.
Yeah, he's quite something.
And he seems like a decent guy too. Like he doesn't do it in a way that makes you want to go I would never want to play for that guy.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. Like he's a legit first ballot Hall of Fame coach.
I interviewed him once in my life after he was announced. I think he was announced as the Olympic coach for 22. Ultimately never happened because it got shut down.
Yeah.
Just was a lovely human being. Through the phone, I was like, this guy seems like the awesome, just amazing. Just a good, salt of the earth dude who is just also really good at coaching hockey. And he has a lawyer.
Yeah. He's a lawyer?
He's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer.
Oh, did not know that.
I don't know how you get into that. I don't know how you're a lawyer and then all of a sudden just I'm going to go start coaching hockey or something like that. But I believe he's a lawyer.
Wasn't Burke a lawyer?
He graduated from, remember. And Burke's Ivy League lawyer. He was at the Thomas M. Cooley Law School in Langley, Michigan. He practiced law for 5 years and was a public defender off and on for 2 years while also maintaining his private practice. He started playing hockey again while attending law school, ultimately leading to his first experience coaching hockey at the Lansling Catholic High School.
That is crazy.
I'm a lawyer dealing with all of this, but I'm going to go play a little bit of hockey over here.
Yeah, a little high school hockey coaching experience before you get into the NHL. Eh?
Yeah.
And then what's his coaching career? He goes do I have he coached junior teams. 2010 went to the American Hockey League. 2013 was hired by the Tampa Bay Lightning and is now currently the most tenured coach in the National Hockey League. Who I remember there was a point where he almost was fired before they won the Stanley Cups.
Right. Yeah.
and that they stuck with him. And now, if he gets fired, I don't know how many teams should fire their coach just to hire
him. Yeah.
I almost wonder if he doesn't get fired, if he kind of does the Paul Maurice thing where he just like
steps aside one day.
Steps aside, like I can't take this program any further than I've taken it.
Yeah.
And he was not out of coaching very long. And I'm sure if Cooper put his name out there quietly, 5 teams would fire their coach like that.
Okay, the Oilers wouldn't right now.
Right now, they wouldn't. Actually, I really like what Knobloch has done.
He seems like a solid coach.
Yeah, and he's really very quietly has them embracing a defensive system.
Okay, I want the Maple Leafs. I would fire Craig Berube for John Cooper.
Yes,
Cooper.
Berube is one of those guys that's got a short leash. He will wear the players down.
Yeah.
They will get better for having him, but he will flame out.
Florida is not going to do anything. Boston just did a change. Like I'm doing a hypothetical if you today. Boston couldn't do it now.
If you Skid Tocchet, wouldn't they? Get Cooper?
I don't know.
I'm not sold on Rick Tocchet.
Yeah,
I think
I'm not either.
I think he's also
he has a shelf life.
That's the other thing.
I agree.
If I'm Vancouver, I would go make that move in a heartbeat. LA Kings just did a thing. Golden Knights. I'd make that move if I was the Golden Knights. Straight up.
You know for a fact the Golden Knights will make
They would make that move. That's the thing.
Will this make us 1% better?
They would do it.
Yes, it will. Then we're doing it. 100%.
I won't, as good as they are, if I'm the Winnipeg Jets, I would take John Cooper.
I would. Yep.
Yeah.
Colorado, I love Jared Bednar. I think he's a good coach. I think John Cooper's better. Even though the Avs
The question is, would the Avs do it?
Well, that's what I'm trying to... I don't think
know
Joe
if they
Sakic would.
I don't think they
the
would.
Dallas Stars.
The Rangers?
Oh, the Rangers. Except
Yeah.
I don't think he'd want to... Like, if I'm John Cooper, I'm not going to a low team.
Yeah.
I don't want to go through
Are the Rangers really a low team, or are they just a team in a really bad spot?
They're in a funk, hey? Like, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Dallas would be the team.
Yeah.
Today, right now.
Well, it was...
Or maybe gets reunited with Steven Stamkos in Nashville. I don't think Cooper's getting gone.
Really
but
that good, or is Dallas just an incredible systems team?
I think Dallas is a team that often has lots of ups and downs. They have a good year 1 year, bad for a year, good for 2, down for 1. I feel like they're very yo-yo. Maybe I'm wrong on that one.
They seem to have some. They're up and down a little bit, but not like really bad and really good. Like that's this. You know what I mean? Like they're in that.
They're the wild. They go to that wild card spot.
Yeah, the wild card spot, or yeah.
Well, they remind me of the Wild. Funny you would say wild card because they remind me of the Wild. Like outside of Kaprizov, are the Wild an amazing team, or they just always follow their system?
Yeah.
The Wild are a story this year right now.
Yeah, with the boat anchor of all their.
They've managed through that.
Incredible.
That is pretty incredible, right? Of all
to have that much dead cap and be that good.
Be that good.
And they're soon going to have just extra cap. And I know they have to sign Kaprizov, but like they still have the other cap to use. Like there's so much dead there that it.
Mitch Marner.
Hey, look at that Giants receiver there. Oh, it's smoke. Oh no, it's Buffalo. Sorry.
No, you missed your Giants highlights.
Mitch Marner, where would he? It's funny. We had Dreger on for the morning show, and it just was talking about Austin Matthews just injured again and stuff. And Dreger was just talking about how their focus is getting him for the Stanley Cup. Who cares about Four Nations and Stanley Cup winning it? Because if they don't and they've fall out first round again, they'll questions about the core. I'm like, well, we've had those questions for like 6 years. You know, it feels like it's been a long time. But it'd be fascinating about Mitch Marner because he could just walk.
Yeah.
If Berube is there long term, I don't know if Marner is.
I don't know why you would stay there. One, I'm sure you can get more money somewhere else. Depending on like how much what you're going for. If it's money's what you're after, Utah will pay you money.
And so
they'll have cap space. Minnesota will have cap space. Well, do they have enough cap space? Because again, they got to sign Kaprizov.
Well, they have 20. No, is it 20 million coming off?
Is it this year?
I thought it's 2 sevens. So it's 14 million.
Oh, I thought,
it's around 15. Yeah. So Kaprizov has to get a bump. That'll lead up probably close to the 7.
What's Kaprizov at now? He's at 8?
8, I think, yeah.
So he's going to want high.
Yeah, but it's okay. So he's going to...
So he's going to get
12?
Draisaitl money?
Everyone's going to want Draisaitl money.
Yeah.
So
you still have 10.
so what is the Draisaitl again? I just want to remember. 14.
14, I thought.
He's 14. So Kaprizov is going to probably want 14. But Leon also left money. So you might be able to go get more. Kaprizov is currently at 9. So even if you go to 14, that's an additional 5.
And that's not a given he's getting 14.
I think it is.
Probably, but
I think if Kaprizov starts with I want Leon Draisaitl money, what are you doing if the Minnesota Wild? Are you really going to play hardball with him?
Yeah. Like I said, I would. I don't think I would, right? If that's what he walks in and says.
I think that's probably the floor.
Yeah.
The question is, how much does he want to take more? Or is he willing to settle for that hometown discount like Leon kind of settled for?
Yeah.
well, it's easier for Leon to do it in the situation than he is than, I don't know, is Minnesota an imminent threat to win the Stanley Cup?
The way they're playing right now, like I wouldn't say threat to win the Stanley Cup, but you never know on that playoff run. And it's just shy of 15 million for next year. So if you signed Kaprizov, let's say 14 even.
So
that's 5 million. So you got 975 left. You're not signing Mitch Marner for 975.
Right, but who do they have coming off? Do they have other players coming off as well? Like Fleury, how much is he making? He comes off.
Fleury comes off, yeah.
2.5.
Yeah.
So you're starting to add up, but they have to go get another goalie because they only have one goalie.
Yeah.
And defensively, they're actually, the one thing about them is they have a lot of the other players kind of locked down pretty nicely. Here's where Brock Faber, he goes from 925,000 this year, 8.5 next year.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So you've got
That's a haircut.
So there are some, that's where it's like the cap isn't fully there. I don't think. Do I have?
Brock Faber got 8.5. Yeah, he'll get.
I still struggle.
He'll get 14.
He'll get 14.
I still struggle with Puckpedia and trying to figure, like, cap friendly used to be like you could look at this season and see what the total cap space left is or something.
Yeah,
and
Puckpedia is a little harder to navigate, but
yeah, I can't figure it out right now on the fly. Where's Utah though?
Well, I'm still thinking of cap friendly, so
long gone, my friend.
I'm a couple behind.
Because cap friendly right now still has 9 million in cap space. Current cap space is 9. They don't have a lot coming. Oh, they've got a decent amount coming off. Plus the cap's going to go up. I could see their money there. The other team is, what do the LA Kings have?
Oh, for cap space, yeah.
Because they're the one team that, like, I feel like Austin Matthews ever leaves. Like LA is one of those spots you keep hearing about. Austin
New York,
Matthews.
LA kind of.
Could they go?
Sense.
Do they have
Arizona
the cap space
made
to
sense
get them?
maybe once upon a time. Obviously, that has gone. So
I'm reading this wrong. Sorry, I'm reading Puckpedia completely wrong.
Yeah, I guess Matthews to potentially Toronto or LA, but
and they got to get going. It's Matthews is back to Puckpedia. I go. Oh, this is going to go well. I think
3 years,
2 or 3 years left.
3 years left, I think. Right? Did he sign?
He signed a 5-year.
But when did that kick in? Because that's the thing.
Yeah.
So this is year 2 of 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he's got 3 more years left. But the thing is, like, I'll be the one that throws it out there. I don't give a damn. If you have another first round exit here, like, and now you're talking about, okay, if Mitch Marner leaves, like, how much longer does Austin
Tavares
Matthews
is done
sit
after
there?
this year,
But he's having a good year.
He's having
this
a
year.
really good year. But I don't know if they re-up him, and I don't know if he
not at what
re-ups.
they pay him, right? If he re-ups, he'd be a.
And then if Marner situation, then you're kind of left with Nylander Matthews, and then you try to build something more concrete around that.
37 points, 36 games for John Torres.
Yeah, he's had I thought he was completely washed. He's had a pretty good year.
Yeah,
he was a point a game player 2 years ago. Last year, 65 points in 80 games. It's not bad,
slowing
actually.
Down, I always get into this trap in my head thinking once a guy slows down, he's going to be done.
Yeah.
And we just watched the LA Kings on the weekend, and they got one of the slowest guys in the league, and he's still getting it done.
Yeah.
What did Stamkos get?
Yeah.
Does Stamkos get traded at the deadline?
He's got a full no move clause.
Well,
Stamkos for
plus
does Nashville have the stones to say we're going to run it back again next year. We think we made the right move. Or are they going to blow this up?
They've got more years at Steven Stamkos at 8. You'd have to eat salary, I think, to send Stamkos somewhere.
Yeah, but only a couple. Like someone would be happy to have him at 6, wouldn't they?
Well, everybody's saying Trotz is impatient, but I haven't. He's made a couple moves,
but it's like, what do you trade? You have got to convince Steven Stamkos to waive. Marcia Show has a no move clause. Philip Forsberg has a no move clause. They got Ryan O'Reilly, Thomas Novak, Gustav Nyquist. You got a bunch of some other players, but nothing crazy there.
Is O'Reilly done? Is that what you're saying?
He's the first player that doesn't have a no move or no trade clause.
Well, how many years does he have?
2 more a year, 4.5.
I wouldn't trade that.
Roman Josi, he's got no move clause.
Well, they're not trading Josi or Forsberg.
It's like the Oilers. A lot of players with the no move clause.
Yeah.
Like the Oilers.
Well, and it's kind of like the Oilers that like when Nashville made those signings this summer, everybody's going, holy crap, right? And same with the Oilers signing Arvidsson and Skinner.
But if you went to Stamkos and said, okay, it's not working out here, we'll trade you to one of the teams that you were also considering signing with, and if that team wants him still, I actually really haven't watched him close enough to know if he's playing terrible or if it's a new system or what it is. His game could just be falling off a cliff and he's done. That happens.
Oh, it absolutely does.
Just hasn't happened to John Tavares yet.
Well,
I don't know, hoping it would.
There you go.
Well, I think from an outside perspective, this could go many ways. Either he doesn't sign with Toronto, goes somewhere else, and his career resurrects, and it's amazing to watch because he didn't do it for Toronto.
Like go back to the Islanders?
Go back to
Do the LeBron move?
Do the LeBron.
Go back to Cleveland, win the championship?
The other side is you
Then
could look
leave
at
again.
this. He signs for big money because he has this year and then doesn't produce again. And the Leafs are stuck with his contract. And he fooled them because it's contract year. Never get caught in a contract year.
I can't see anyone giving him a big contract.
Well, he's 11 mil this year. I could see him still get, like Stamkos got 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
I can
he'll
see him
get
getting like
6,
9.
6 to whatever. Sure. But not long term, not 5 years, not.
Somebody will. NHL GMs.
That is a boat anchor contract.
don't care. NHL doing GMs do it all the time.
Yeah.
There's
they
someone out there that will offer it.
Yeah, that's true.
Georges Laraque left, I think it was Arizona, to go to Pittsburgh because Pittsburgh gave him a no trade clause. I think it was no trade clause, not a no move clause. Of all players in hockey, no offense to Georges Laraque, he shouldn't have a no trade clause.
Well, look at our AHL D man with a 3-year contract right now.
Yeah.
Talk about spending money, or like
Yeah,
it doesn't always have to be on the high end either. Like how do you sign him to a 3-year deal?
Cap's going to go up, potentially a big margin. You give these NHL GMs money, you say, hey, we're going to give you a bunch of money. Do you know what they're going to do? They're going to make mistakes with it. They just go spend it.
Yep.
As opposed to trying to be smart about it and going, wow, maybe we'll spend some of it, but maybe a thing that we've learned over the last number of years since we've had this cap at the National Hockey League is having cap space is very important. Yes. And not always being up against the cap is the right thing to do. But these teams just like throwing out the cash. So there'll be that team that sits there and be like, we want John Tavares. We'll give you that extra year just to get you. And then there'll be the mistake.
And
we see it all the time in hockey.
A bad move. It will be a bad move.
Absolutely.
But you know what's going to happen.
History would suggest you're not wrong, man.
Yeah, that's always the case.
This is the EST Hangout live on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton sports. Kelvin Vandasselaar. I was thinking about the last names, and then I almost got the first name wrong. Jeez. Kelvin Vandasselaar, Dean Belanger, Matt Iwanyk with you here on the Hangout, as I said, presented by Sentinel Storage. Canada Storage experts, more than 2 decades of helping Canadians through life's transitions. Sentinel.ca.
Oh, you're getting good with that,
Letterman.
It's been
Yeah,
a while since I can't even say while. It's been a while since I've had to do those little tosses. Portions of this hour of the EST Hangout, they are brought to you by the High Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring the buzz. Check them out, thehiveproductmarketing.com. I got the Riverhawks inspired hats.
Check them out at the Hive. Just check them out on EST. There you go.
Quarter zip.
Yeah. I like this hat.
Orange and blue colored hats.
Yeah.
And you even got the socks for EST.
Oh, I thought I'd,
and you could get your nasty clip pack when we're done here.
When we're done.
there you go.
It's all ready to go.
And I have to go down to the car. I've got some bobbleheads to add to the collection.
Ooh, what leagues? What sports?
I've got a Brizgalov with the Coyotes. That's a random pull.
That's no kidding. Yeah.
And that I got last year, Jose Barrios. Went to a Jays game last year. It was Barrios bobblehead. Never opened it. And
Really?
It's not going in my case. I brought
You have a
it here.
case?
I have 3 cases.
You have 3 cases of bobbleheads.
No, of like collectibles.
The collectibles.
Most of it's
That's
McFarlane's
a lot of bobbleheads.
No, I don't-
really like bobbleheads.
I
there,
don't
Dean.
actually. I don't really care for bobbleheads.
Do you guys have the Gizmo one out here?
I don't think we have the Giz. I was in line as a kid for the Giz, and we were there too late. I never got one.
Yeah, no,
It's very
I,
sad.
But
I have to.
yeah.
I have to thank my wife for her persistence to get that one.
You got that one?
Yeah, yeah.
But the Jays are not going in my case.
You not a Jays fan? Or just mad at
I'm
the
telling
Jays?
you, I'm breaking up with baseball.
I
It's
respect
happening.
it. I respect it.
Yeah.
Yankees have actually had a pretty good
When's the
offseason.
service? The funeral?
They don't care about me.
Yeah, exactly.
MLB doesn't care about anybody.
The owners care about money. I think we've killed like 2 or 3 bobbleheads over the last couple of weeks. I don't know. Heads keep getting decapitated.
Oh, there you go.
Basketball injuries?
Basketball.
No, they just like somebody grabs them or knocks them over, and then like the heads are coming off.
Oh, well, then good.
So I don't know. So
I'll
it's
bring
perfect.
Some,
You could
bring some
possibly
new,
replace.
new inventory. I think there's a Cujo in there as well. Not a bobblehead, but McFarlane making a nice kick save.
Oh, the action figure? Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah, my wife calls them dolls. They are action figures.
They're action figures. That's
You don't really. They are different.
sure.
I used to have dolls. I was a teddy bear kid.
Yeah.
I had a lot of teddy bears. A huge amount of stuffies. It was great, including a Barney that I lost in the Spokane hotel room. But they mailed it back to me when I was very
No,
young.
seriously? That's pretty
Oh
impressive.
yeah, I was very excited when that one was. My nieces now play with it, or used to. I think they're too old for that a little bit now too. So yeah, it's that. I added to our bobblehead collection. I don't know last time we added to that bobblehead collection. It grew at 1260, and then I took some, and then we displayed the rest. Eric took some too. He's not a bobblehead guy. What's in your memorabilia case?
I have a
Couple
lot
items.
of most of it's McFarlane's. I've got a lot of Team Canada ones because I actually went to the Olympics in 2010. So I got a Crosby, Luongo, Taves. There's one other one in there. I actually might have 2 Crosbys. Then there's a bunch of Messier and Gretzky ones.
You got memorabilia?
A couple of shelves, Oilers and Elks, and the little footballs and a mug and a beer mug and that kind of stuff, right? And what's hanging there is I think what's missed is I have the Grant Fuhr retirement. I was at the game, right, with the big tickets, right? I got the AC/DC concert, right? With all the electronic ticketing stuff now, all that
sucks.
stuff's kind of gone.
Yeah,
now,
I've got
right?
my Heritage Classic one, and I miss those.
Yeah,
For sure.
Especially the occasion games that you.
Yeah.
I can see the odd ticket that you don't get anymore, but yeah, like to have that. Yeah, those retirement things to have
The Oilers, for low, they gave out commemorative ones.
Right.
And so I have that. The nicest thing they did was the first game in the new arena. They actually had like I don't know, bronze or whatever. They're metal.
Yeah.
And they gave you to them in a case. Those are nice. I have those in there as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the first game doing too. So
Yeah.
It's I saw it on Twitter a couple days ago where Darren Ravel retweeted somebody who's had a wish list of things, and one of the things was they wanted to go back to physical tickets.
Yeah.
Because it's commemorative games, they could release them. But
Yeah.
there's that Sam Gagne 8-point night. No one's expecting an 8-point night that night.
yeah,
So that ticket becomes special because you have that
was
ticket
there.
from that night. I was there. I have
there,
that
yeah.
one ticket.
Yeah.
And I think you can go and, some teams will, I know in other leagues, they'll resell, they'll sell you tickets after. You can buy then a physical ticket if something big happens.
right.
You shouldn't have to do that.
No. I still have my ticket from my last Jets game. I have things like that. They're nice.
Yeah, it's
I
kind
have all my ticket stubs from concerts.
Okay,
Every
yeah,
concert
yeah,
I ever
yeah,
went
exactly,
to.
yeah.
Now they don't do them
They
anymore.
don't do it anymore. No.
There's got to be a way that you can still do both. You can have the mobile if you want the mobile, just because it's easier. But you could still get the ticket if you want the ticket.
Yeah, I'm sure Ticketmaster can find a way to jam you up for $30 for that.
That's a good point.
You figure it out. You think they can
Or their
figure it out.
prices all just jump up for the physical ticket fee.
Yeah.
But
Well, the Elks did it for a while, or Eskimos. I remember when I was a season ticket holder.
Now
when
I think they're a
electronic-
card.
Well, now they're card. Now it's now it's a credit card. But there was a time when they first went electronic that you could still get your tickets printed, but it was an extra fee, right? That was
Depending what the fee is. If I was a season ticket holder, I'd pay the fee.
yeah. It was I think it was $20 or something at the time.
Yeah.
Because you just never know.
I miss tickets. I do.
I'm willing to be one of those old guys with you guys.
There you go.
And be like, yes,
There you go.
bring back the physical ticket.
Bring back the physical.
Because you can't. If concerts, you have to go to a smaller show to get that even. Even then, actually, you can't.
There's not many. There is not many.
I wonder what they don't even have Ticketmaster booths. Like Kingsway Mall, I know for sure was one where they had like a representative, like customer service. They would sell Ticketmaster tickets as well.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't even have those, I think, anywhere. So you can't even like walk. Like there's the box office that there was. I wonder if you go to Rogers and you like went and bought a ticket, what they would do if they would give you a physical ticket, or they'd be like, "Wow, what's your account? We got to email it to you or something."
I think they will actually still physically print you a ticket if you go to the walk up.
I say, what about Elks walk up? I can't. Did he give you a ticket?
That's
I haven't done a walk up for ages.
I haven't done an Elks walk up
Yeah,
in a
in forever.
decade, 2 decades. I don't know.
Can't remember.
I went with Cam Moon 2 years ago a lot. He had season tickets, so I didn't even have to go buy the walk up. So I don't know either.
No, I missed.
Maybe
tickets.
this will be it's something we'll have to figure out next year.
There you go. Well, we'll have to do an experiment. We'll do
Go for all of that.
Go for a walk. The Hangout will check out where all the walk up tickets are and see if there's actually a physical ticket or not.
Big plans to try to get full physical tickets, and then I'll start a campaign for the ones that don't.
There you go.
Every day I'll spend 5 minutes on the campaign to sign my petition
Sign
to
my
bring
petition.
back physical tickets.
Bring back the
and I'll
physical.
start change.org. I think it's change.org where all the petitions go and everyone
yes.
posts the petitions and all of that.
SDs next year, physical tickets.
Yeah.
I did send digital tickets.
Yeah, physical.
Yeah.
What was funny is a lot of people printed them.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people I saw that walked up with the physical ticket printed.
Printed. Yeah.
And I was very impressed because, like, honestly, you were going to be welcome in. We would have known type thing. But I was like, yeah, you plan to try to have it. But I made them so they were actually nice tickets.
Yeah. No, they were good. They're nice.
I was looking. I wouldn't mind doing physical tickets. Maybe I have to. I can't. I don't want to be a hypocrite.
There you go. We should
Well, I was going to say, if you want change, you have to be the conduit, Matthew.
Be the conduit, and we got to get the polls for the Grey
But
Cup.
then
next
you
year.
have to be able to, secure them, right? So people can't copy them.
Well,
That's the
I
only
could
thing.
create a will call. What do you mean to secure them?
Well, no, like if you just made a printed ticket that was easy to duplicate, then you could get
Well,
in trouble.
I numbered them, and I have the numbers.
Yeah.
I
we
know
could
who
go
has
into
the numbers.
Canva and sell. Right?
If somebody comes in with ticket number 506, I didn't sell 506. So it'd be I just need to go by those numbers.
Yeah. Then you boot them out. Get out of here.
Get out of
fraud.
here. This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
We do not accept fraudulent tickets
Fraudulent
here
tickets.
at the Estes.
There you go.
I actually have to start
Get back
planning
to
that
the
a little
Grey
bit.
Cup East West stuff next year.
Yeah, your board, ticket board, not the ticket board. Sorry, the you were saying the fundraiser. You
Yeah.
wanted the-
Oh, Grey Cup tickets.
Yes,
The
yes,
tickets.
Yeah,
Those are those were missed.
that's nostalgia. That's good stuff. East West, right?
Actually, we were talking about that.
Yeah,
'cause
we're
you
talking about
I found a place that does the tickets
Oh yeah,
that you can get them printed.
there you go.
I found so it's like I think next year. It's weird saying next year.
So I randomly
But it is
thought
next
of
year right
that
away here.
on the weekend because I can't remember what game it was, but they said this is the first time in NFL history this score has ever been after a first quarter. And I thought about those stupid tickets.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It was like 17-5 or whatever the hell, or 2.
2-1.
It was the 17-2 or whatever it was. And they said this is the first time it's
First
ever
time ever.
happened. And I thought of those stupid tickets.
Yeah, because I'd have had that one. I'd have pulled that one, right? That's what I usually do.
$25. All right.
Yes.
Nothing screams NFL like a 6-3 football game too.
Yeah,
Last
no
Thursday.
kidding. What the hell was that? Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that they were throwing out the who was it? It was the Mariners that beat I think it was the White Sox 6-3 in a baseball game this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but the CFL is garbage.
Well, and then somebody overrode at Chicago, like the Blackhawks and the
That was a bad game.
I completely forgot there was a Thursday nighter that night.
Yeah.
I was.
Well, when Eric's not doing the Thursday and the Monday nighter, you kind of forget about him, right? So
What? It was just a lot. And I'm actually surprised. I will say, looking at the NFL, I'm surprised they didn't play a game on Friday. I'm surprised they took Friday off. Like, you played Wednesday, Christmas Day.
Yeah.
You tried taking over, which actually I don't think worked for the NFL as much as they might have thought. Thursday, you had normal Thursday nighter. Played a triple header on Saturday. Played the games yesterday. Have a game today. Why would you leave Friday open?
Yeah.
I
Didn't
think
Beyonce pull more than the game?
I think you're right.
Yeah, I think 27 million or something for halftime.
And they pulled over 20 million for the two games, which is really big.
Really big, yeah.
But I didn't get to it during the morning show. Rip City sent me a graphic because they weren't great football games in the end.
No, they weren't.
2 blowouts.
And my wife wanted to watch Beyonce.
Yeah, there you go.
So we watched, and then as soon as it was over, I turned it off. And sorry, Beyonce, you're not country.
I
That
missed
was terrible.
Beyonce. Now I can't find it here.
27 million people.
The
might disagree with
NBA
us,
Christmas Day was up significantly. I think it was like 58% from last year, TV viewership.
Right.
And I think the two things I would look at is, one, the NFL games weren't that good. And the NBA were good basketball games. And two, the NFL, though, was on Netflix. So if you didn't have Netflix in the States, you're going, well, there's no football. If you're going through your guide, there's just NBA on TV. I'm going to watch the NBA. And the NBA benefited that, which made me think that there might be something to being that last league left on cable.
Which will be the NHL. Probably.
But there might be some value to it.
Yeah.
Where you're the only,
100% there
where
is.
somebody's flipping around and going, I don't have NBA because they're all on Apple TV and
You're right, yeah.
NFL's on Amazon and all these ones. And I haven't paid for those fully yet, or I only have one of them. And the NFL, like, the baseball's not on tonight and they're only on this one. I guess I'm watching NHL. There might be some value to being that last league left on cable.
This was the first year in Canada where you needed a specialty streaming thing to watch every NFL game. Every year it's been TSN, CTV, for every game.
Yeah.
This year you needed TSN Plus for the horrible London games, or the European games.
Yeah.
And they were all garbage,
as
they usually are.
they usually are.
I'm not paying for that. Like, I don't need to pay for TSN Plus to watch Jacksonville play at 7 a.m.
I got TSN Plus on because I bought literally a Mars bar. Or was it Snickers? It was one of them. And it came with a free month of TSN Plus. And I only got it for this month. Well, I got it to watch the Simpsons NFL broadcast, which was awesome.
That was awesome. Yeah, it was.
And then I thought, like, the last couple of years, college football, there have been a lot of games have been thrown on TSN Plus. And I'm like, well, I want to watch my college football. So I got my month for this month. Actually, I got to cancel right away here. And a lot of the college games haven't gone on TSN Plus. I haven't really gone to TSN Plus. They've got Red Zone. Cool.
Yeah, and I like Red Zone.
I've thrown that on. I watched again that Monday Night Football. But it's like I've gone to, like, I'm also one that knows how to find other streams. And I'm like, there's nothing special here with TSN Plus.
Yeah.
That I want TSN Plus. I'm going to pay you my $10 a month when I could just go take that $10 a month, add another $10, and I can go buy an IPTV, which gives me everything. Or I could find some sort of stream. It's not that special.
No.
That's interesting where media is going and where you can start to consume it, right? Like WWE's flipping a Netflix.
Yeah, I saw that. The advertising during the football game. I was like, ooh.
And my cousin and I were talking about that, and I was trying to figure it out. I'm like, dude, what happens? Because he told me, like, the WWE network's going away. I'm like, WWE built that for a number of years.
Yeah.
Why are you just throwing away that platform?
It's all going to be on Netflix now.
But it's all going to Netflix. And so I'm intrigued. Like, is everything moving to Netflix? Before on the WWE network, you could watch whatever
But those are
old
decisions
wrestling you
that
want.
new ownership make. Vince isn't making those decisions anymore. So it's easy to just let something go away.
And all the pay-per-views, apparently, I think, are on Netflix. So, like, if you have Netflix, now you don't have to buy pay-per-views. You just get the pay-per-views.
So is it the international subscription? Like for Netflix, I mean, you can get it anywhere, right? I mean, as opposed to a cable program you have to be in the States for or whatever.
Also, my cousin did say he was watching the NFL games on Netflix in Canada.
Really?
Which I didn't think was going to happen because TSN has those rights and it was TSN CTV. But I think with Netflix, they still kept it open in Canada.
Yeah, no, you could watch them on Netflix. Yeah.
Which, like I said, you can't watch the NFL Thursday nighters on Amazon Prime in Canada. I don't believe.
No.
So I think either Netflix screwed up there and didn't block it in Canada, or it's just something that's allowed. But
Yeah.
for WWE, it's
Yeah,
globally.
It's global, right? So, and then they're doing so much in Saudi Arabia now, right? They're like, I think they have to open up their fan base, right? So that's probably one of the reasons they've moved to Netflix, I would think, anyway.
Yeah, it's
Spending a
money.
lot of money.
Honestly,
And
money.
It's
is,
money, yeah. Yeah.
Money is the correct answer.
Yeah, you know.
But a lot of the U.S. sport cable networks are in trouble or going to be in trouble, and Comcast and all of those type people, they're gonna all start disappearing, and that's gonna hurt the U.S. landscape.
Well, now it changes. Like, so then we go from regional deals. Like, everyone has their regional deals. Those will eventually just have to go away because there's no regional networks to go to. Yeah. So so then this is where it's going to be fast. Is everything going to be a national rights broadcast deals moving forward that gets split between all the teams? Or are we going to see back to local TV where we've seen some NHL teams and I think NBA teams that have given their television broadcast rights back to like the local globals and CTVs there. Mm.
Well, the other thing that I noticed too is the gambling sites are starting to buy those opportunities, right? Because I think there's a FanDuel.
They bought out Bally Sports Network.
Yeah.
So they bought a bunch of those. So now it's the FanDuel.
So you maybe potentially see MGM buying Comcast or something like that. And then it's content.
Oh, and integrate live
yeah, and then you're
right
integrating that way.
Right into the stream, right?
Yeah.
Where then you could also you're not taking other gambling commercials probably.
Yeah.
So you lower the annoyance of it while still promoting the gambling probably more than ever.
I would say it's incorporated right into play-by-play.
It's the embedded logo that we've all been taught to look at, even though why do you?
Remember QB1?
QB1
right? In the bars, right?
Oh yes,
right.
Yes,
you'd have running play, right?
Yeah,
pass play, whatever, and you had a minute or two in between the plays. You had about 30 seconds to pick your play, right?
Rip City's on some sort of roll. Actually, JCD 780 is TSN going to have the new TGL Golf League? I don't know if you guys seen.
They're advertising it, are they not?
It's on Sportsnet. I've seen. Or I saw because it starts next Tuesday the 7th. So I went on my guide and flipped. And Tuesday's on Sportsnet. I don't know if it's a split broadcast then or not, but it starts next Tuesday on Sportsnet.
Okay, that's
which I was very excited
because I know I've been seeing it lately.
Rip City though. Well, he said this to VR just because VR says Beyonce is the Sean Watson of singers. Also, TLC is greater than Destiny's Child. Rip City adding, I did my holiday Pitch Perfect trilogy rewatch. I like that you have a Pitch Perfect trilogy
Those are
rewatch.
Damn funny movies.
I know, but I don't know if I'd set aside a Christmas every year to make sure I watch all three.
Probably
I think
not.
Josh Allen is going to win the Super Bowl this year because he's marrying into the Bellas.
There you go.
There you go. I watch Bad Moms Christmas every year.
Oh, that's
which is not Pitch Perfect, but kind of in the same.
The first time I watched it this year, I just
my
about
God, it's
died.
amazing.
Never watched that one.
Oh,
you've never watched Bad Moms Christmas?
But that looks like a great cast.
It is a fantastic watch.
It's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's so funny. It stumbled across it this year, and I'm telling you, I haven't laughed that hard in a while. It's
it's
really
good.
Yeah.
It's good.
Dave in Section T in the Parish Jewelers inbox did say, hi, Matt. Happy New Year's, boys. I have Elk season tickets. They gave me paper ticks when I asked because I was having difficulty with an old phone and Apple Wallet. No charge. But walk up to Golden Bears football, and that was electronic last year. So Golden Bears, that's the way they were doing it. And then somebody else texted in. I used to pay $50 per seat per season to get hard copies of Oiler tickets when they were in between physical and digital tickets.
Yeah, there was a time with the Oilers you could get physical too, and it was about $100 if I recall.
Edmontonian in Ontario has a cabinet full of memorabilia. My pride and joys are a blue WHA puck given to me in the Edmonton Gardens by Bobby Hull, and my framed stub and certificate for the first game at the Coliseum against the Cleveland Barons.
Whoa, that's going back.
Yeah,
that's going back.
I got a good Manitoba men's hockey story. Ted Green coached the Carmen Beavers before he coached the Oilers. His brother owned the bar in Carmen, the Carmen Motor Hotel, and they had an indoor steak pit. It was a crazy place. Like, it was really cool. But Ted Green was standing behind a bench in a intermediate senior C hockey game in the 70s, right? crazy stuff.
Reminder, the official drink of the EST Hangout is the Finnish long drink legend in 1952. A drink unlike any other sparkling refreshment, real liquor, longdrink.com/Canada is where you can go to enter in the postal code and find the liquor store nearest you with it. Sparkling refreshment, perfect for New Year's Eve, maybe.
Ooh.
Pop a couple long drinks to bring in the new year. You guys big New Year's? Like, you're going in bed.
No, well, New Year's
like
Eve,
you're staying home.
New Year's Day, we have my wife makes a Dutch delicacy called oliebollen, and it's a Dutch dough with raisins, and it's deep fried, and you like when they just make them fresh, you dip them in icing sugar. And, So we have an open house
That sounds good.
every New Year's Day. So come over for a libation and an Oli bowl, and I'll DM you my address.
Nice.
So yeah, it's kind of fun. So that's sort of our that's our holiday event, right? And kind of get rolling early in the morning, and usually in the pail by about 3, and have a good day. So.
Yeah, I've never been a big New Year's guy.
New Year's Eve type? Like
No, not at all. But you know, the World Junior marquee matchup kind of became the
fun.
thing for a while, and you know, I would always watch that. But I'm you know, maybe have friends over, a couple friend over, play games and stuff. But I'm not a big New Year's guy. This year, going to the Oilers game.
You got college football.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You got Penn State
Don't care.
taking on. I don't know what Penn State's taking on in the playoffs.
There you go.
Penn State's got. Come on, Matt. Boise State in the college football playoff quarterfinal at the Verbo Fiesta Bowl. 5:30 tomorrow.
All right.
Boom. And then, New Year's Day. New Year's Day for me is always the college football, because like you do get the Rose Bowl. Unless it's a Sunday, you get the Rose Bowl, and then you get all the other games. And there's just something beautiful about the Rose Bowl. It is the granddaddy.
Don't care.
But like,
Get into the Pop-Tarts Bowl and you'll care next year.
I will not.
but you don't hear a lot about New Year's parties, bashes. Like maybe I'm out of it now.
Well, we're old.
Yeah, we're old. So I guess that's. But I don't. Like I don't.
I actually am always surprised at the Oilers. They were on the road last year, I think. It's been a couple years since I think they played a New Year's Eve game at home.
Yeah.
I'm always surprised. The one year they did it at 8 o'clock, and it was an 8 o'clock game. Like, that's just so dumb. I don't know why it has to be played at 7. It's just I don't know. I feel.
It's good for me because I don't have any.
I guess
plans to do anything
maybe
after,
I'm just looking at it from a full media perspective, where it's like, well, we're gonna have a post game show tomorrow, and Tommy and Hernan are working till like 10:30.
10:30. New Year's Eve.
I'll have to talk to them maybe, but let them go. But then like Tommy is like, do we have
Hopefully
to do a
they're on
post game
site
tomorrow? I was like,
somewhere.
well, you got to do a post game tomorrow. Like there's an Oilers game. We're covering it.
I had to chuckle one day. Where were they? Around Christmas time. Oh, Bourbon Street, when they were like just the ambient noise at that one night, the Christmas parties that were going on. Like, oh man, that was a rocking place that night. Like, wow. Yeah. So
Actually, one of the
West
little
Gate-
hacks of Christmas parties is do them in January if you're for staff.
Right. Yeah. 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 We actually worked for a place where we did January Christmas parties. Everybody's busy and
Yeah, we did for my hockey team. We were trying find a date. Last year didn't really work out. We didn't have many people. This year, no one was going to be coming. So I'm like, screw it. So first weekend in January, we're doing a holiday party, and like everyone can come pretty much. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
yeah. No, those are good early January.
It'll be a St. Albert shaker this weekend.
Oh well, look out.
Good time.
Lock up your cars and trucks in St. Albert because
It's going to be a shaker.
Jay texts me and says, I didn't think you would mention the Pop-Tart Bowl because my boy's lost in it. But here's the thing, Jay, about the Pop-Tarts Bowl. As much as it hurt that the U lost, and I was mad. I actually was getting a little angry at the defense a little bit. But it subsided rather quickly once I saw the MVP pick the Pop-Tart, and then I watched the Pop-Tart go up into the toaster and then get its sign that said, follow your dreams, and then get toasted and then get eaten. And it made me bring a smile to my face. And I was very happy and I was very joyful. And everything about the Pop-Tarts Bowl has has overshadowed, if you will, in a good way, all my anger from Miami losing that football game. And I was very happy about it. And I actually legitimately want to go to the Pop-Tarts Bowl game one of these years to go watch this in person because it looks like so much fun.
The first year?
The second year.
Second.
Last year they did a good job with it. And there was like hype because last year the big thing was the mascot would be edible. And you're like, well, how's a mascot edible?
yeah.
And then they toasted it, and they brought out a toaster, and it was there, and it went and got toasted, and then it came out and got eaten, and it was like, this is awesome. And they've upped it this year. That the only problem I think is they upped it too much this year. That I don't know how they're going to up it next year.
Yeah, I was like, I didn't watch it, but I saw the highlights, and it looked like it was a pretty crazy.
Legitimately, Dean, I think this is now one of the best bowl games or most anticipated bowl games now every year. Because of what they did. Like, the marketed team of Pop-Tarts deserves all sorts of awards for what they've accomplished.
I will agree with that.
It's a close second.
Because you're talking about it.
It's a close second to the trained dogs at the Elks.
Oh, great. The Super Dogs.
Yeah, super dogs, yeah.
I'm all about marketing. You know that.
Yes.
I love that.
And
But
they've, like, it's all, everyone was talking about it, everyone's looking at it. There's like all the, except you apparently.
I didn't
There was
even
all
know
these
this happened.
videos. And it's part of those bowls because, like, it used to be the Cheez-Its bowl. Like, they're owned by the same company. And at the end, they'd get Cheez-It and they'd pour Cheez-Its on themselves. And I loved it. But this one took it to another level. But the Cheez-Its now sponsors the Citrus Bowl. But it's the Citrus Bowl. Like, it's a little bit more of a step-up bowl game. The Pop-Tarts Bowl is a Pop-Tart Bowl, like just its own bowl game in a sense, where then they could just have so much fun with it. Yeah. And it's glorious. And it's wonderful.
This sounds like the Nickelodeon feed on the NFL game, is what this sounds like.
Actually, so somebody mentioned it to me. Renee from Centric Casinos had brought up the idea, like, they should have done, like how they did The Simpsons for the NFL. They should have done a kids version of the Pop-Tarts, but had Pop-Tarts playing Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
It would have been awesome. Yeah. And as Jay says, but seriously, who chooses cinnamon for their Pop-Tart flavor? It was a very poor choice.
I like cinnamon.
Okay, I'm going to go through the flavors of Pop-Tarts you could choose from.
There was a blueberry one, wasn't there? No.
Yeah, like wild berry.
Wild berry, yeah.
No, too sweet.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you? Pop-Tart choices, Pop-Tart bowl.
Chocolate, no.
There was cinnamon roll, there was hot fudge sundae or wild berry.
No.
Why would you take cinnamon?
Cinnamon,
Why would you take
easy.
cinnamon?
That's an easy choice.
Over hot fudge sundae or wild
100%.
berry?
I would do the wild
clearly
berry.
number 3.
100%.
Wild berry is your number
It is
one
easily
choice.
number one.
Wild berry.
Says the guy who doesn't even watch the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Correct.
I can't even take your opinion. At least Kelvin saw videos of it.
You know, I had my first Pop-Tart in a decade when I got my air fryer because somebody told me Pop-Tart in the air fryer is unreal. I tried it, wasn't unreal.
Yeah.
I've heard great things about air fryers. Trev got one for Christmas. He talked about it. Dave clearly has used his air fryer because he spoke glowing about them.
Yeah.
Those,
great.
you know, Jeff Walker from the old place,
They do
1260,
the
who's
hash
now
brown
at Chat.
It was
patties
Walker that
Walker-
told me about the Pop-Tart.
He absolutely
He was talking about it on air.
swore by the air
Yeah.
fryer. I can't get behind an air fryer.
Oh, they're great. But they didn't do
They do
much for
some
the
good,
Pop-Tart.
like wings, right? They do
Wings,
the
fries.
hash browns, the square hash fries, yeah.
Unreal.
I've heard for nachos, a good way to do nachos actually in them.
No, I haven't
Oh,
tried
really?
that.
But I don't know. I'm a traditionalist. I can do this stuff in a stove.
It's better in an air fryer.
I don't.
Traditionalist. I'm a traditionalist.
I don't think.
Then you should be
the
doing
guy who doesn't like the Pop-Tarts bowl.
Yes,
That's my whole thing.
that
I'm gonna
kind
have
of
against
makes
you
my
now.
point. If you're a traditionalist, you'd have the old school deep fryer that makes your place smell horrible.
I would love one of those still.
Well, then get that. They still sell them.
I actually almost bought
Fill
one
it with lard.
recently.
That'll be the best fries you could
I
ever
was gonna
have.
say, yeah.
I walked by. I was needing to look at something. I was in a Value Village. I saw one, an older one. I looked at it. Somebody was kind of hovering by me. I walked away. I was like, I don't know.
And they bought it.
I came back. It's like, maybe I will get it. And that person grabbed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were,
Old school deep fryer.
don't take it. Don't take it.
I don't have room on my counter though. For
Maddie's
appliances.
having a
You
fist
don't
fight
want
in a
that in
thrift
your
store over a deep fryer.
You don't want that in your house.
Did you, okay, I brought this up on the morning show. Did you guys see the brawl that happened at Mayfield Dinner Theater?
Yeah, it was
Couple
on
days
the Egg
ago?
Wave. Yeah, I saw that.
There was a brawl at the Mayfield Dinner Theater a couple days ago.
Over?
Based on Reddit's, I don't fully there was a loud table that was very obnoxious talking during the performance. Another table was like just there, a family just be like, hey, can you kind of quiet down? And then it led to a
fair.
brawl.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was an interesting video. It was pretty hilarious. The Mayfield Dinner Theater.
Well, that's the first time anyone's talked about the Mayfield Dinner Theater in a while.
long
So
time, yeah.
they,
I love going to Mayfield Dinner Theater. It's been a while. But I loved going there. Jay, chicken breast on one side, mixed veggies on the other. Doesn't get much better than that. Get on board with the air fryer. I could put a chicken breast in the oven.
Dude, it's better.
Or I could do it on the stove.
And it's quicker.
Or I could do it. I don't care about quickness. I care about quality.
Well, if you care about quality, then you would buy one because it's better.
Patience is a virtue.
You're being obstinate and goofy. I'm telling you it's better.
Is a virtue. Some
You're
good
heating up
things
that
take
big
time.
oven. Like, think of the energy.
Tickets take good things take
Fine,
time.
I'm gonna have to invite
Mixed
your
veggies
sorry
in
ass
different
over
ways.
for dinner, and I
My
will make
parents
you.
have it.
Have you eaten what's out of
I
it?
eat their food, of course. I don't need it because I can do it in the oven or I can do it on the barbecue. If I'm gonna have a chicken breast, why can't I go on the grill? Put it on there.
I
Is
don't
it better
know
than the
how
barbecue?
you don't
Is
get
it better than the
slapped out
barbecue?
monthly about from the people around you.
Because I'm right in the end, and you
You're
all know
not
it.
right.
And you guys don't
I have
want to
a
admit it to yourself.
convection oven. The
So?
air fryer is better, and it's easier to use.
'Cause it's quicker.
Especially you're
'Cause
by
it's quicker.
You're by yourself. The cleanup is easier. It's smaller. It's more contained.
I'm okay with cleaning up. If I'm doing something right, I'm okay with the cleanup.
You're not. You're just not.
You're not like a one pot cooking guy, are you? You're
No. Okay, I will say if you made a chicken breast through your air fryer and I made a chicken breast my way, I get blind taste test, mine would win.
You don't even know
Calling
that.
it.
You're just saying
Calling it. Because it will be done better. It will be done
That's
properly.
like me saying I'm going to invent the Kool-Aid bowl and it's going to be better than the Pop-Tart bowl.
Oh my
bro,
God.
Kool-Aid
The Kool-Aid bowl would be amazing.
That'd be amazing.
And then you have the Kool-Aid guy to come out.
Yeah,
and-
exactly.
I think I just screwed up my point.
I really think you did. Yeah.
What is
You know,
it?
you'd be like, oh yeah,
Yes.
through walls, and
I'm
it would
great.
be better.
And you could have different
And you
flavors of
could
the
have
Kool-Aid
different
people.
flavors.
And then they
There you go,
drink the
Kool-Aid.
Kool-Aid
pour
guy
the Kool-
after.
Yeah, they
you
pour
could
the
have a little
Kool-Aid.
thing.
Yeah.
They did pick the color of the Kool-Aid, or you could like.
There
they
you go,
pour over the
Kool-Aid.
winning
You can
coach.
start infecting America's youth again with sugar.
With sugar, yeah.
Your congratulations.
I think you lost your point though.
Kool-Aid was good when I was a kid. I did like that.
Oh, that's absolutely incredible. Kate, we've got to write a letter properly here to Kool-Aid.
I don't even know who owns Kool-Aid. They're part of some master brand.
I'm just like, there's got to be we can't let anyone
I'm gonna
else get to
guess
Kool-Aid with this.
General Mills.
We just can't get anyone else involved with this. We
Well,
got to
it's-
be, we got to be the ideas.
At best, what, 100
It's
people
owned by
watch it?
Kraft Heinz.
Yeah,
Kraft Heinz. Damn, I
Which-
should have guessed them.
Is the fifth largest in the world. It's third largest food and beverage in North America, fifth largest in the world.
They're super uninspired with their advertising. They're
They're
no way
97
gonna go
years
for this.
old.
They're not going to go for this.
Well, think of that as a mascot. for,
yeah.
Oh, dude, it
for a
would
bowl
crush.
game.
Yeah,
It would crush.
for sure.
Oh, you'd watch that one, I bet, over the Pop-Tart
No, I
Bowl,
still
though.
wouldn't because I
Let's
don't watch
phone hurry.
college
Let's get
football.
the
but-
Kool-Aid.
Investor relations, no, I don't want that one. Careers.
Yeah.
Is there a promotions
They
career?
pulled the naming rights. I don't know how long ago from Pittsburgh. I don't think Heinz.
Heinz Field, is this the first year? Or is this
I don't
the second
think
year?
they're going to spend the money for a bowl.
Well, not when we show them the Pop-Tarts Bowl and then show them concepts of the Kool-Aid Bowl.
Oh,
how
now
great
we're
it's gonna
showing
be.
them. We're going to
we got a storyboard
We're going to do
this.
a media kit now.
Yeah, media
Yes,
kits,
we're going to build this
storyboard,
up for them.
PowerPoint
good.
But we need to
presentation.
find a way to make sure they don't just take it from us and do this without us. We get a
exactly.
portion of the cuts.
Right. So this is on
Dean,
the record.
We're stealing this with you now.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. I think you really lost your point on what you're trying to
you-
do.
Your point is completely gone.
Yeah, well, that's fair.
Yeah.
But don't tell me your garbage chicken is going to be better than mine.
Why would it be garbage chicken?
Because
You say-
you're going to dry it out. You're
I'm
going to overcook it.
I do
it's
not
gonna be
overcook my
terrible.
chicken. I do not overcook my chicken. I will also say this about an air fryer. Do you think if I go to a top tier restaurant, I'm ever going to get served anything from an air fryer? Or is it going to come from an oven/stove?
In
A
a
salamander?
You know what it's going to come from? Something in between both. It's going to come from a professional convection oven, which in a sense is what the
You
air
think
fryer
Gordon
is.
Ramsay is using a convection oven?
They have all
They're using their
kinds-
ovens and their stoves.
Have you? Okay.
They're not
there you
bringing out
go.
the air
I don't
fryer and
know.
having a bunch of air fryers. Take that, Jay.
I watch a lot of food shows. They use convection. Bobby Flay uses convection.
You
and
only
salamanders.
see-
Don't forget the salamander.
A small portion of what they do on those
You
shows.
think they're doing air fryers?
I am telling you that they use massive commercial ovens because they have to get out a lot of food very quickly.
Yeah, so they use commercial ovens.
Yeah, which are way closer to an air fryer than they are your oven at home.
You think Gordon Ramsay has an air fryer in his house?
No.
Exactly.
I'm going to say no.
Exactly. I want to do it right.
You're not doing it the way he does.
Yeah.
Is what I'm telling you.
I do my eggs like he does. I've learned his scrambled eggs a little bit.
Do you do his pan-fried steak? It's pretty good. He's like with the butter and this is how
Taste it and stuff.
Yeah, he is
I don't think if I bought a Gordon Ramsay or Jamie Oliver cookbook, it would tell me air fry something.
yeah. Does Jamie Oliver
surprised.
does he have a cookbook? I thought he just grabbed shit and sorry.
Jamie Oliver is all over the place.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
He's got
right?
quite a few
he's-
cookbooks out there.
Oh, does he? Okay, yeah. Because he has some interesting, like when he had a show, like you'd watch him, he'd be in some interesting places cooking with some interesting stuff for sure.
I'm not gonna have Emerald going bam with an air fryer.
Yeah. Unless he's tossing in a bin.
Kool-Aid Bowl. That is absolutely
That's-
amazing. Need to get to Road Warriors brought to you by Aki Steel Heavy Haul Trailers, custom manufacturing heavy haul trailers for mining, oil and gas equipment, highway transportation. I don't think you could have come up with a better one for that.
Yeah.
Quality, innovation, integrity, trusted by the leaders in the heavy transport industry. Get on the road with
When
peace
the
of mind for
players
your
come
large
up,
loads.
they all run through a wall, every one
Oh
of
my!
them?
Yeah,
That's
just
how
like-
it's done.
That's how it's done.
Yes.
Not just the first one.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. They all
Well,
get a wall.
They all get a
There's
wall.
one for Kool-Aid to start it, or like he
Yeah.
brings out the football,
Oh,
but
yeah.
each team has to run through the wall.
Run through the wall. Absolutely.
This is just incredible. At the end, year one, you drink the red Kool-Aid, but then every other year they bring out
Oh,
other
yeah.
Kool-Aid.
Hashtag drinking the Kool-Aid.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
Oh.
I am so brilliant.
Yes. Yes. This is a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Road Warriors, what do we got tonight? We've got the Lions on the road out in San Francisco taking the 49ers.
Go Niners.
It doesn't matter for next week.
It doesn't?
No.
At all?
No.
No, it doesn't. That's crazy.
Because the Lions, if the Lions even
Oh,
lose
yes. 'cause
and they
then
win,
they'll
they'll have the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Whereas
Still,
the Vikings needed it.
I wouldn't
So,
mind the Niners winning.
what does Jay have to say here?
Get the stench of
Convections
loss in
ovens are
Lions
essentially
nostrils.
giant air fryers. Take that, Matty. Yeah, but use the oven then. Again, is Gordon Ramsay going to have the air fryer? No. Deal with it.
Matty, you're wrong.
I'm not on this
I'm
one.
sorry, but you're wrong.
I don't care. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I'll do things the right way. You guys do things the easy way. Detroit's still 3.5 point dogs. Or favorites in this one. Favorites, I should say. In the National Hockey League, what do we have
you said
tonight?
that is in San Francisco, right?
Yes. And now some people Rangers in Panthers taking on the Panthers, Predators taking on Winnipeg in Winnipeg, and Utah's on the road taking on Seattle.
Oh, that's a Amazon Prime game tonight.
Jets, Predators.
Jets Predators is prime tonight, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Because it's the Canadian, it'd be the Canadian team. There's some talk of because this game doesn't matter for the Lions, and because next week does matter, would there be resting of players this week? In
Campbell
advance of
resting
next
players
week?
and not going for it.
Mike Tenier said the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine that. being
Maybe
the
not
case.
resting players, but guys that are really dinged up
Yeah,
not playing. I could
not
see
playing.
that.
That may be that.
because they've had a lot of injuries on their defense in the last month. So I could see that.
But I don't see a lot of I don't see Jared Goff getting arrested going into this game
No,
or something. It's just that doesn't scream Dan
Yeah, like
Campbell.
they're not
Doesn't
going to go
scream
to
Dan
Amon
Campbell
Ra
at
and
all.
go, by the way, sit her down.
Yeah, I just don't see him parking
If
players.
if you have Lions guys in fantasy and you need them tonight,
I could see them
and they
spreading it
only
out
play
more.
a half.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, speaking of the Pop-Tarts Bowl, the Miami Hurricane. Well,
him so much
well, I will go there
sometimes.
because we've seen this in the college football. Cam Ward was the quarterback for Miami, expected to be one of the top quarterbacks taken in the NFL draft. He played in the Pop-Tarts
He
Bowl.
did play.
Yeah.
So right
they
after the
parked him,
surprise.
though.
But he sat after the first half.
after the first
He
half,
set a
yeah.
record for career passing touchdowns in college, and then they sat him.
They sat
and there
him,
was a
yeah.
lot of discussion about whether he should have continued playing or not, or the Hurricanes got the ball with, I want to say 40 seconds to go or something. One or two, maybe two timeouts, and they needed to drive into field goal range to win it. And he didn't go out for that. And people are like, well, at least go out for that drive. I did not like the backup quarterback. He was trash. If he's the future of the Miami Hurricanes, we're screwed next year. But there was, we typically see now in college where that player doesn't play in the bowl game.
Yeah.
Just says,
Yeah.
I'm going to the NFL. I'm not
Yeah.
risking anything. I'm out. Cam Ward
Which
went in.
really is fair.
I'm fine with it. I actually am. And I'm fine with what Cam Ward did on Saturday too. As much as I would like to have seen him have a game-winning drive again in the Pop-Tarts Bowl, it wasn't going to change his status for the
No,
NFL.
exactly, yeah.
He set a record. If anything, he only could hurt him because if he gets hurt,
It's the injury
cost him.
thing.
Yeah, and it's
You never know when you're going to get your leg rolled or.
and of all sports, that's one where it's I understand, you want to be there for your teammates, but
Yeah,
your future's on the line.
We're talking like $50 to $100 million just like that.
I know, like the one thing we don't see with the players, they don't sit out playoffs, right? Like we have 12 teams in the playoffs. There was 8 teams that played last weekend, or like a little bit of 20th and 21st. There's 4 more teams that are going to play over the next few days. No one's sitting in those ones. Playoffs are on the line, national championships on the line. Players still come. It's all the other bowl games that people are just sitting on. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I just want to win the Pop-Tarts Bowl.
Yeah, there you go.
You're going to get in on this.
Why didn't I say the French Fry Bowl or something?
Yeah, you picked the best one of it all. Your
McCain.
points ruined. You ruined Jay's points. Oh, hey, Lance. Nice jacket.
Oh, that's cool.
Probably make a bunch of cash selling those type of
Yeah,
things.
no kidding.
Saw a video, or a picture. There's a Winter Classic Blackhawks jersey or a jacket, $1,000 American.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much do you think those Mrs. McDavid jackets are? That all the mums are wearing?
All the moms are wearing,
Yeah. They're probably up there.
Well, if they're selling for the price of anything that Lauren Kyle's stuff was selling for, they're up there.
Yeah.
I don't know who designed them.
No
I
idea.
actually didn't even get into much full Oilers. Is there any panic for you guys?
None.
Okay.
None.
There was a lot of
They had a
anger
bad
yesterday post game.
weekend.
Yeah, there's a lot of anger yesterday in post game, but today during the morning show, they didn't sense. I think the anger's gone.
Yeah. I when I'm like, if Vegas doesn't stumble, the only thing I'm concerned about is, a game like yesterday, it's going to hurt their chance of being first overall, but just get in. Let's go.
Yeah.
What are we looking at?
If there's a way I could sleepwalk January and February for a whole bunch of reasons, being weather, etc.
It is so painfully obvious that the Oilers are just slowly ramping their game up. You can't play game or the finals pace for an entire year. You just can't do it.
And I think their record in December shows that they can ramp it up there. And they tore through.
Did I love yesterday's game? No, but I'm not gonna. I saw someone put on Twitter, now is the time to put Pickard on waivers and call up Rodrigue. And I'm like, lose Pickard, call up a guy that might not work out, and we have absolutely zero depth in net. Yeah, that's a great idea. And this is why fans are not GMs.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, there's Gibson stuff too. I don't get it. He keeps popping back up.
And he's got 2 years left on his deal. Like they already have a pretty not great cap situation. The only thing the Oilers are doing right is the amount of money they're spending per win on goaltending. Is quite reasonable. I'm not too worried about.
I do just want to point out, because X-Ray J did say in the nasty check, Guinness World Record for youngest old man shouting at clouds is me. Convection oven is a sealed oven, uses a fan to circulate air to cook foods faster and more evenly. 100% remembers he has one. I think he means air fryer. ChatGPT or Google's AI says air fryer is different from a convection oven, but they are similar in they both use fans to circulate hot air, but they are different.
They're
different.
How are they different?
Oh, I have to go through all the reasons they're
An air fryer
different.
has an element at the top and
Size,
a fan.
convection ovens are generally
size,
larger. Let me go
obviously.
through all these. Convection ovens are generally larger and have more capacity than air fryers. Cook speed.
Wow,
Air
thanks.
fryers heat up faster and cook food quicker than convection ovens because they're smaller size. Cooking style. Air fryers typically cook from the top down and doesn't have a bottom heating element. There's a big difference.
Ooh, yeah.
My oven does not have a bottom heating element. It's an element at the top.
There's one at the bottom. Or at the back. To pay attention a little closer next time.
There's not an element
You
at
just
the
haven't used it
bottom.
in a long
In
time.
your oven?
If it is, it's underneath.
It's underneath. It's there. Because the top one's a
Oh,
grill.
it is. Yeah, you know what? You're right. It is.
Top one's a grill.
'Cause I've
Bake
got
is the
I've
bottom.
got
Oh,
the
yeah.
heating tray on the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
So yes.
Just trying to call me out on that one.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Those are some of the big ones. I could read more.
Size. That's one of your big ones. Thank you, Captain.
Well,
Obvious.
yeah, but that's part of this. Do I have to read all of these?
No.
Okay, well then don't. But there you go. So they're similar but
You're
different.
arguing with yourself
And
right now.
here, yes.
Similar but different.
Apparently, my air fryer can dehydrate. My oven can't do that. I've never once done that, nor will I, because
You can make beef jerky.
Sure, I could, and I won't.
See, you're not into the cooking elements. You just want things quick and easy. This is why you have an air fryer.
Yeah, because jerky is definitely.
Let's take a great cut of meat and let's dry it out.
Yeah.
Oh my God, beef jerky is amazing.
And add so much sodium to it that you don't have to refrigerate it. That's healthy.
100%. Jordy Mac show. The jackets were like $500 or something. Jasmine says $450, I believe. Speaking of Jordy Mac, he's going to be on the Hangout tomorrow, along with another nasty Garen, part of the Combine crew.
There you go.
It's another nasty show tomorrow, just in advance of New Year's. I will throw this out there. If somebody else wants to join on the Hangout tomorrow and can jump on from 9 to 11, text us. 780-218-9999 into the Paris Jewelers inbox right now. And I'll get in touch with one person.
To be a nasty?
If you're listening, you're a nasty. If you're listening on today.
So you're allowing frauds that everyone thinks are part of the nasty club, but really
I don't know
aren't?
who's in the nasty club.
A thief?
Nasty, he's not in the nasty club.
Well, then he...
But yeah, if you want to, if you have time, jump on the Hangout tomorrow, 9 to 11. Let me know, 780-218-9999. If you do, I'll reach out to one person if people do. Maybe you could join Jordy, Garen, and myself. But this was a lot of fun today.
And you can have a super fun arguing with Maddie about stupid stuff like air fryers.
What's the topic of the day tomorrow?
You never know what's going to be the topic of the day.
That's the beauty part of this show.
I think the key though now is I need to flesh out for us the Kool-Aid Bowl.
Oh,
idea.
absolutely. Yeah, no, that's
You go Kool-Aid Bowl, Pop-Tart Bowl, double header.
yeah.
You and I can have a side meeting on this.
It's gonna be amazing.
Yeah.
Actually, somehow we got to find a way to get it on Jan 1, and you say what you go Kool-Aid, Rose Bowl, Pop-Tart Bowl, boom. Who needs a national championship?
Oh my God. You are a beauty.
We've got the Lock Shop coming up next. Haas with Jake Bull and Moss, I believe it is, from Cool Bet. We got the oil stream, myself, and YouTube Trev. We'll talk some Oilers. Maybe we'll
some point today.
Maybe we'll talk some Kool-Aid Bowl at some point. EST Afternoons, Hernan and Gager. We've got the Reed Wilkins Show with Jay Mill, and that's all to come here on Edmonton Sports
So
Talk.
everyone's working but Dusty and Eric.
And Tom.
Well, I don't know when Tom really is working or not anyways.
Tom's back tomorrow. Eric's back Thursday. Dusty's back on Monday. So we get Dave Jameson for 3 more morning shows.
Nice. That was great this morning, by the way. It was really nice seeing the two of you together.
Yeah.
I will say this, it felt natural from the get-go.
Yeah,
the only difference was I was the host, not the co-host. But beyond that, it just felt natural between the two of us.
It was amazing. It was really great.
Yeah.
I love JMO.
I did miss it, and it was very clear after that how much I missed that one. Kelvin, Vandasselaar.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
How can people get in touch if they're looking for lake property?
Oh, EdmontonLakeProperty.com, or my first name at EdmontonLakeProperty.com. We're west of the city, and with the winter season is it's busy.
Is it?
I have been busy this month more so than any since COVID actually. So this is the best December I've had. Like COVID turned that upside down that market, and
I was glad I had my place during COVID. I always say this jokingly, like it saved my marriage. No, my marriage wasn't in trouble, but having that ability for us to either go out there and get away or go out there individually and get away, have some space, because we didn't have space during that time. No. It was amazing.
EdmontonLakeProperty.com. Check us out. There's some good stuff out there. So come to the lake.
Thanks for coming in.
Hey, I love it. Yeah.
It's great having you.
Thank you.
I will send you all the Pop-Tart clips you want later so we can flesh out the Kool-Aid idea.
Well, I've been half-assed thinking about, I want to do an MBA. So like maybe this could be like a marketing thing that we could do, flush out. That'd be an exercise.
For the NBA?
An MBA.
Oh, MBA.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying NBA. I was like, what does that have to do with NBA? I should listen more.
I am nowhere near getting to be in the NBA. I'm probably the worst office basketball player, let alone.
I don't know who the worst would be. Anyways, that will wrap up the EST Hangout presented by Sentinel Storage right here in Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports. On behalf of Kelvin, Dean, I'm Matt. Thanks for tuning in. Like I said, Lock Shop coming up in just a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. Huss and Jake Bull-Moss will look back on the NFL and look ahead to the Monday Nighter later tonight.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here, joining us today.